Alright, let's do it. So, when last we met, our adventurers had braved the dangerous tomb that was in Inari's garden. So you guys followed this guy named Zeeks, who was a duergar carrion crawler rider. He was like herding fire beetles, right? And he said, I'm going to take you to this really cool place. You guys get there, find Kojo. He is, he's been there for a few days. You learn the dark secret of the garden, defeat the mummy, and make good friends, right? However, as you're leaving, under good terms, you are accosted by another duergar riding a carrion crawler, and this is what happened. So while traveling a few miles away from Inari's garden towards Gracklestugh, in a rough tunnel about 10 feet wide and 20 or so feet tall, something suddenly appears above you. A stern-looking duergar in typically austere scale mail astride a now visible carrion crawler looks down upon you in a manner that convinces you that looking down upon others is commonplace for him. You, surfacers, 2 of our men abandoned their duties and stole their crawlers. The traitorous... And he uses a term that you know to be a slight in the dwarven tongue, Sleffel, and he spits at the ground at that insult, are deserters and thieves that should be brought to justice. I believe you know one of them. His name is Zeeks. They were recently spotted in this vicinity. What can you tell us about them? And before you speak, it is my duty to remind you that lying to agents of the Deep King is a crime. Criminals face swift justice. What do you say?
I haven't seen him.
Speak quickly.
I haven't seen him.
I'm not sure I believe you. Weren't you coming from that way?
Yeah.
He points to the tunnel behind, and he says, I'm sure you saw him. And he's trying to, like, make you reveal your lie. Make a deception check.
Oh, I rolled take the roll.
Where'd you roll 2?
Inspiration?
9.
He says, lies. What about the others of you? Surely you've seen them. Tell us where they are. Where is this Zeeks?
I feel like we could just point. Back there, maybe? I don't know.
So,
Pointing into the darkness.
Yeah.
somewhere back there. So he says, tell me the whole story. How did you encounter him? What happened?
There's a lot
Who
of
now?
beetles. A lot of beetles, and he was like in the middle of them. I don't know.
He's been gone for months. I tell you what, you find him and you bring him to us. We'll be here. Now go!
Is there anyone else with him?
Well, we're going that
Is
way.
it just him?
So the thing you know about duergar is that they can turn invisible.
Uh-huh.
So you expect he's probably not alone. And the fact that he just appeared means he canceled his invisibility. Yeah. What do you want to say to him?
Do you always ask your friends to find? Do you always ask people to find your invisible friends?
I ask people that are below my station. And what's your name?
Huh?
That's an odd name.
It's a common drought or tiefling.
That's a common right. Well, I suggest you get going.
Which way were we going again?
We were going that
That
way,
way.
but now he wants us to go that way.
But so we're gonna go that way.
I
Turn
think we
us
should
on
go
go that way.
You can try to go that way and see what happens.
Make a
You know what?
deception check.
I think you're right.
17.
Okay. And so he believes it. So you guys could continue forward if you want.
Forward.
You do that. All right. Another hour passes, and you don't see any sign of pursuit. you make camp and get a long rest, so you guys can all get your hit points back, spells back. Okay. And at some point in the night, let's just say Ryan's awake, keeping watch. Kojo is. You hear something that's too close to you to not have been spotted. You hear, "Psst. Hey."
Can't see anything?
Kojo, come here.
Good.
You walk towards it?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm trying to
you
touch
kind of
her.
walk a little ways away from camp. I guess whoever this is,
When you say a little ways, before
we'll
you
say like around the corner of the tunnel, and a duergar pops into existence in front of you, canceling his invisibility, and it's the same Wrangler cowboy duergar that you met earlier, Zeeks, who will be played by our guest star tonight, Corey.
Howdy. 96.
Alright. So, I'm supposed to be taking you back that way?
No.
So, just as an aside, you know you're being pursued.
Yeah.
You know they're your friends. You don't expect that they would turn you in, but you're not 100% sure.
I'm supposed to help them get in the city, right?
Yeah, and you're thinking you might be able to help them get to their destination.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start frisking them.
You want to frisk him?
Yeah.
Wait, so I didn't lie when he said he went that way.
I just take my belt and drop my pants.
Make sure he doesn't have any booze on him.
Do you have booze on you?
They're all gone.
Uh,
The rum's gone.
When it wears off, we'll talk. I start walking back to camp.
Okay. Do you want to invite him back?
Where are you going?
He's coming.
Sure.
Let's go.
All right.
Oh, shit.
So
What did he just whistle for?
you are riding your your carrying crawler dude here.
Uh-huh.
So here's your menu.
Oh, am I on it? When I meet him?
Yeah, you are. Oh yeah.
Dude, I got a thing that has too many legs.
It's like a giant centipede
Yeah,
that
I
eats
want
trash, essentially.
He's got good stats, but they're creepy. I
I want one.
Of course he is.
He joins you, and are you gonna let him take watch, or do you not trust him enough yet?
Yeah,
don't like. Old Bessie can take walkers.
Right? Is that her name officially now?
It is now.
Bessie.
Bessie.
Nice. Okay, so you guys all wake. You find Zeke's with you. How do you feel about it? Do you think he's going to be dangerous to your
He
situation?
didn't stab us in our sleep, so that's a plus.
True.
He was drinking that wine though.
Okay, was there something about the wine that I didn't know about?
From the last
Yeah.
session, the wine was
Oh yeah, you weren't here.
kind of like a hallucinogenic wine.
Oh, it's good. Got it.
Yeah, and so you've been basically drinking and using this stuff for a month or so. Yeah, something like that.
So I'm clean now?
You are.
Okay.
For like, you've
The
been like
nervous
one
twist
day.
It might be a flashback every once in a while. You're like, whoa!
See a mushroom in the corner of my eye. Oh!
He's got a love stool.
It's like a bright light, and you're like, whoa. Hold on.
Nice.
Bessie has
So,
flashbacks too. I gave some to Bessie.
so after a long rest, you begin to resume your travels. No encounters. I rolled a 3.
What?
DM question.
Yeah.
At the end of the last game, you said I had a problem with.
Yes. So, what happened essentially was that you started scratching something. I don't know if it was your leg or your arm, and you scratched and scratched and scratched, and now it's like a little nub, but it doesn't look like anything that the drow has on him. That was more
Okay.
like mushrooms.
Yeah.
Not sure what to make of it, but it hasn't grown any larger overnight.
You've got the herpes.
You're not sure what it is connected to
Can
either.
I try to ask
Oh.
tomorrow what it is?
Sure. Roll a d20.
You said no.
Not sure what it's connected to. And that's more.
13.
13. Yeah. You beseech her to reveal the cause. So I assume you guys in the Underdark sleep with your weapons nearby, your armor on, like all your equipment. There's no like good night's rest. You're not like okay.
I'm right there
So
sleeping like a baby.
yeah, she doesn't give you any clue as to what's causing it.
She doesn't know. Okay.
No.
Stool, what do you think? Okay.
Stool says,
I don't know. I'm worried about you. Thanks.
so freakish. And he says, I'm really more worried about Sarah. He's not looking so good. And this guy is like, I mean, he looks like a leper. His skin has fallen off in chunks. Half of his hair is gone.
What?
He's got like large mushrooms growing out of his face.
Mushroom growl.
One is obscuring one eye.
Oh.
He's like
Why is
just
he
kind of talking to himself, muttering about Neverlight Grove and his people, which he's not clearly a Myconid. So you find it very odd.
We're just trying to slip away all these leaves.
My skin's falling off.
So use a
In
I didn't know
Draxus.
it was that drastic. I thought it was just a mushroom here and there.
That's great.
It has
It was.
become worse and worse.
Oh,
So
we need to bitch it.
with those two things in mind,
Make it
I
you
wanted-
start making. Oh, go ahead.
I wanted to leave him with the wine.
I know he
Can we leave him there?
he didn't want to leave. You're kind of using him as a guide somewhat. So yeah.
Oh, that
Somewhat.
makes sense.
He just 6 feet away.
I'm gonna press the digitate a mirror
Okay.
and just kind of say, bruh, if you saw anyone who looked like this, what would you say to them? Mr. Survivalist guy?
He says, "I don't know what you're talking about."
Walk!
He's not a
Damn mirror!
game twist. You don't see him in the mirror.
Vampire?
Vampire focus?
And he reverts back to his drow and he says, "I don't have time for this nonsense, surfacer." And he like storms off. So Zeke seems able to lead you guys towards the city. And after a day's march, and without incident, you finally reach the duergar city of Gracklestugh.
Who wants to ride on Bessie?
Has too many legs.
Oh, chicken.
As merciless as it can be, Gracklestugh is a major bastion of civilization in the Underdark with active trade routes. For you, this means a potential chance to find a way back to the surface world, and hopefully a chance to shake off the drow that pursue you. You hope that the influence of the demon lords that you have seen throughout your travels has not invaded this city, but you worry that the madness of the abyss may have found its way here as well. So essentially you have two options. You still have a boat with you. You guys can try to approach by boat, like through the Dark Lake.
Last time I was here, the boat was getting eaten by the owners or something.
No, we went by it.
They found another raft afterwards, yeah. Or you can approach the city gates. You can talk amongst yourselves. I believe Zeke's might know something.
Yeah,
about
we don't
this.
want to go through the main gate.
Why?
It's probably not a good
They don't like
idea.
this?
You know, I'm kind of wanted. Yeah, it's probably just not a good
Did Bessie fit on the boat?
idea. No, well, she can swim.
You
She
went
can
to the
swim.
part where you said you wanted here?
Well,
Or there?
I mean, you guys,
Both?
you know, I saw you guys meet the people that were looking for me.
Okay.
You know, kind of.
So you're wanted in the city you're about to go into.
Yeah, but it's okay. Just we'll keep a low profile, and I got a place we can go.
Keep a low profile with that thing.
Yeah, it's fine. You remember I can go invisible, right?
Along with that? Yes, that's true.
Well, maybe be his first treat, won't you?
He tells you that it's not uncommon for carrying crawlers to be mounts in the Duergar. In fact, they have a whole, part of the army is that. They serve as scouts.
Yeah, but you're not gonna blend in very well with that kind of armor.
Do you not understand what the word invisible means? I mean, I know you're slow because you're half orc.
Oh.
Sorry, the wine's kind of. I feel a little rough after I quit doing the wine.
Kojo has a.
Kojo makes personal notes.
So what do you guys want to do? He's telling you he's a little worried he might get spotted at the gates, that the docks might be a better option. But then you'd have to be on a boat again, and you don't know anything about where to dock your boat, that sort of thing. What are you
That's what
thinking?
he said.
Maybe it should be pretty easy if you're invisible, right?
I mean, maybe.
How long are you invisible for?
It's a long time.
I was pretty sure it was
So you
Yeah.
could go invisible like before they spot you, and we could walk all the way in, right?
The ground at your feet has been getting smoother and flatter, a welcome respite from the uneven passages to which you have grown wearily accustomed. Eventually, the stone tiles become more noticeable, turning the path into a proper road. You can see spots of light in the distance, blue-white, and two regularly placed to be phosphorescent mushrooms. The lights are proper lamps, flanking two massive stone gates blocking the tunnel. Before you get a chance to examine the intricate carvings on the gate's surface, a harsh voice hisses from a slit on the cavern wall that was not there before. State your business and your names, the voice orders in Dwarvish. Other similar slits open, revealing the tips of a dozen crossbow bolts. Behind you, a metallic din announces a group of 6 heavily armored dwarves appearing out of thin air, their swords leveled at you from behind sturdy metal shields. It says, state your names and your business.
It's a lot of protection.
It's
I'm Kojo, and I would like to get to the surface by any fucking means necessary.
Why are you here? Why this city?
For help, and it looks cool.
Orc, I doubt you'll find help here.
What would you suggest?
Perhaps the deep gnomes? Or the drow, and he snickers.
I've got one of those. I pushed that guy forward.
Sarah walks up, and you hear, like, gasps of horror behind the door.
I don't think they're gonna get that.
Thank God.
And several of the slits close. And one says, your man looks diseased. I don't think we should be allowing you in for certain now.
What if we left him behind?
What if you're carrying that disease? He doesn't look at you. It's okay.
I think rub my shoulder, my black shoulder.
Right. They're both kind of like, kind of on the struggle.
Adjust your arm a little bit, like.
Zirius, what do you want to do?
Disease? What kind of disease? He's a traveling truffle maker. Would you care for
Do you pop one off and eat?
No, I won't touch him.
See? Ow.
I mage-handed. Like, would you care for one? I pluck one off of him. Would you like one?
Right.
I feel like Sarah, does that hurt him?
I hope not.
Does it?
Sarah, what?
Does it hurt him?
It's fine.
When you pluck one off, he doesn't seem to notice.
Just a chunk of flesh falls
We're
off.
also part of a traveling circus, so we're just down here in the down in the Underdark,
Oh,
just for a little bit of a tour, you know. And I do a little fireworks stuff. Care for a show?
Jazz hands.
He says, circus.
Mhm.
What's a circus?
Oh, well then I guess business will be kind of tough here, but nevertheless, we shall try.
We don't have time for play and frivolity here. Be gone! And he slaps the thing shut.
I annoyingly clawed it like a cat does with a door.
It opens and he says, stop it!
Does not stop.
This is Monty Python.
Go away or I shall taunt you a second time.
Yeah, what do you do? So the 6 duergar who are behind you kind of back up and they start like taking positions inside chambers, so you don't see them. So basically, you guys are now again at this entrance.
Well, we have plenty of gold. We'd love to spend some. Have you anything to sell?
What about trade? Yeah.
Nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab the wizard and pull him away.
Okay.
Take the boat, take the boat.
Can I go over the barricade?
No, it's like a passageway with the. Yeah.
Still got that boat?
Yes, she's still as well.
I make perception checks.
22. Indeed, 20.
Wow, 20 and 22.
Say 22.
Not that high, but not low. Dirty 20.
So, yeah, you guys rolled awesome. You see a secret door open in the side of the passage, and a duergar steps out, and he looks a little different than the more plain guards. This is what he looks like,
Rolled a 90-20 plus my perception.
right? He's
Nice
got the
hair.
cool hair. He's a little heavier armored. He looks more dangerous. He says, "I see you were turned away at the gate. What's your business here?"
Looking at the shiny armor.
I had 22 perception. Took me a while.
A little late for that.
That is, but I rolled a 90.
Thanks, man.
Took
Got
me
it.
a while. Oh, look, a passage. As we're talking,
Right.
Back to the wall.
you're looking for entry to the city, maybe passage to the surface.
He said, "Listen, I heard all about the circus nonsense." And he says, "Clearly you're lying. I ought to just send you to the slave pens, but you amuse me. What do you have that is worth your freedom?" Go ahead and make an insight check. 3.
Yay!
Not good.
Okay. You think something's a little odd about him trying to get you guys to pay him off. That's not the duergar way. But you're missing something here. And you also notice that this guy is eyeing your weapons and any magic items that you have. Your cloak, perhaps. Your breastplate. And he says, "What's worth your freedom?"
What's with your life?
All thinking the same thing.
While he's looking, I'll go ahead and flaunt the dagger.
We're not blocked in. We can just back out, right? Or we're,
Yeah,
like,
you
Are
can.
we enclosed?
But potentially they're,
14?
still surrounding you.
Am I still invisible?
Yeah, you're still invisible.
Okay. 14.
14, yeah, you easily tuck it behind you.
I was showing
No,
it
he
to
was
him.
flaunting it.
What's that?
I was showing him since he was looking.
Oh, you're showing him which one? The dagger?
The dagger, well, flaunting the cape.
Ah, I see. So he says, "That's an interesting item. May I
Isn't it?
see it?"
You sure may. Come a little closer.
Oh, no.
He does that.
Uh-huh.
He's kind of eyeing it. Do you pull it out?
Yeah. With
Okay.
a grip that suggests I'm going to stab him in the face.
So you're intimidating him? Or are you going to stab him in the face?
Oh.
Check
You gonna flex?
Yeah, I'm going to flex.
out this dagger.
Plus 4. 15.
I can
15.
stab really hard.
It's right over there.
No. That's alright.
And then look over there.
19.
19. Okay. Yeah, so he says, "I don't mean any trouble, but I'm going to require payment if you want help getting in."
So you will listen. Not turn us into slaves like you just said,
It's not beyond me to get you in.
but you slaves to helping. It's just like that.
But I'll need payment.
What kind of
That
payment?
seems like a nice payment. So he's asking you to give up the dagger as payment to get in.
Okay.
So he refuses to accept it then and there, because he's on duty. But he says, "You need to find my man, Wirtz Salt Baron, in the Dark Lake docks and hand it to him. Deal?"
You did what now?
"Can you listen, man?"
Try.
He says, "My man's Wirtz Salt Baron in the..." And he's looking behind him to make sure nobody else is hearing this, because obviously what he's doing is not acceptable.
So he looks like he's being sus to
Uh huh.
us.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Super sus.
His fellow guards probably would not be cool with this. He describes the man.
Yep.
Or I guess the duergar. He says you'll find him because he wears shiny necklace and bracelets.
I'll
which
find
is,
Not her.
which is not normal for duergar, right? And he says, "Now listen, I'll check with him at the end of the shift. If he doesn't have my payment, I'll find you. And then he disappears.
Wasn't he sweet?
Charming.
So, after a few minutes, the doors swing open, and some begrudging duergar allow you entrance. The city is an underground port, but it's not very successful because of how dangerous the Dark Lake is. This place is one of the most dangerous and poor areas in town. He says that within the docks area is this Blade Bazaar, where you might be able to purchase or trade equipment. And then 2 inns, the Shattered Spire, which is not friendly to surfacers or outsiders, and Goldburn's Lair, which is really the only place that outsiders are
Yeah,
allowed
I definitely
to
want to fuck that name.
go.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to pronounce that.
Yeah,
Cool,
so this
cool.
is what makes up the Dark Lake District, the docks. You guys can talk amongst yourselves about where you want to head first.
Well, I think we
Why
should
don't you handle
probably,
the docks first?
we should probably hit Goldbone's lair first.
Or get him something to make him look less sus when his invisibility wears off.
Perfectly fine. I blend in.
I'm proficient in a disguise kit if we can get a disguise kit.
You've got some illusion magic about you as well.
What
Yes.
about Bessie?
I don't think Bessie needs it.
Bessie.
Alright, so as you enter the city... Yeah. Alright.
So we went to some lair first.
Goldburn's lair. Should be able to find help and information there.
So
Yeah,
little,
we'll help you guys get up there.
little
Maybe somewhere else. Out of here.
Gracklestugh, like Menzo Berenson, was a cavern city. Unlike the realm of the Dark Elves, the stalagmites harbored great stinking smelters and foundries, not the elegant castles of noble families. The air had an acrid reek, and the clamour of industry rang endlessly throughout the cavern. The roaring of fires, the metallic ringing of iron on iron, and the rush of polluted streams carrying away the wastes of the duergar forges. Unlike Menzo Berenson, lightless except for the delicate fairy fire applied to decorate drow palaces, Gracklestugh glowed with reflected firelight and the occasional harsh glare of white-hot metal splashing into moulds. It was a singularly unlovely place, an affront to any high-born drow. At its eastern end, the great cavern of the city sloped down sharply to join the immense gulf of the Dark Lake, so that Gracklestugh was a subterranean port, though few among the Underdark races used waterways such as the Dark Lake in their commerce. Consequently, the wharves and lakeside warehouses of the duergar city constituted one of its poorest and most dangerous districts.
Get your things and step lively, the dwarf snapped. The less you're seen to be about the streets, the better. Be well advised to step soft and quick, if you take my meaning.
Cool. So, that's not the right voice, but that's what Zeeks tells you.
Yeah, what do you say?
So, just use caution. How do you guys want to walk through? Do you want to be sneaking? Do you want to use a disguise, like sneak off and try to disguise yourselves? Where do you want to head to? The Goldburn's Lair first?
Can I make a note to put my cloak hood up and my tail is like wrapped all the way around it, all just
Absolutely.
sticking out?
You do that.
Is anyone not sneaky at all other than me? Say, I can give you Blessing of the Trickster. It lasts for an hour. Gives you advantage
She got
on,
Ava.
on stealth checks.
She got that ranger shit.
I got that pass without a trace shit.
It's
Yeah.
not. It costs me nothing.
Oh,
That's
that-
fucking
Yes.
secret.
I just can touch people.
Is it concentration?
Everyone
Nope.
gets a plus 10 to their stealth mod. Up to...
Everyone?
Oh, yeah.
Up to 5 creatures.
Yep.
That's cool.
So I think we all might just disappear for a bit.
Yeah, that's awesome. You is it spell?
It's a spell.
Yeah.
Lasts for an hour.
Alright, so you guys do that.
I'm
And
the only one person.
fortunately, Goldburn's Lair is pretty close to the entrance you guys came in. So in just under an hour, you're able to make it there. One thing you notice about the duergar is they are staring angrily at all surfacers, and they're not many, or other denizens of the Underdark, as if they're not welcome. And they're also staring angrily at each other. You notice that they are not dressed in the bright colors Zeke's preferred after his time in the garden, but more austere, dull colors. You see lots of work going on. So they're working forges, they're making items and armor, and you kind of pass a little bit through the bazaar area where there's a great bustle of activity. You hear lots of negotiating and arguing. You see some of the people that are purchasing items that are haggling too much with the merchants are arrested on the spot and dragged off. You get the sense that eyes are constantly watching you, even though you're being stealthy and it's maybe just in your head. But the fact that they can become invisible and be invisible disturbs you, because you're not sure at any moment if you're being watched. It's a little unnerving. But despite all that, you guys do make your way to this inn. And you have traveled the full day now. You are a bit tired. Guy behind the counter serving drinks is a more jovial-looking duergar. He's obviously used to seeing surfacers and probably makes a pretty penny off them. Every once in a while you'll see a fight break out, but more than that, everybody just kind of sits and looks and stares at their drinks.
Angrily?
Indeed.
You get 1 room? 2 rooms?
We probably should share a room.
One room?
Really big room.
Okay. So as you're talking to the innkeeper, so you see 2 duergar who seem to have been talking business. One's negotiating, and they suddenly fly into a rage and start brawling, like right next to you guys.
I mean, like behind it.
Like one slams his mug, which breaks over the other's head. The other one punches the first one. They start grappling each other. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm gonna lean into the barkeep and say, "Many rooms available?"
He says, "Sure. How many do you need?"
Just one.
Where are you guys from?
Everywhere.
Yup.
Quite an interesting collection of creatures you are.
Thank you.
Now we're from everywhere.
Do you guys should we pay for our passage into town first before we sleep, or?
Yeah, we should probably go find the knife guy.
Yeah. Okay. So that's down by the docks, right?
I will recast that spell again, so we can be sneaky.
Okay. So you grab a key. You've got an inn for the night. You make your way to the docks, and let me see if you're followed or anything happens.
Probably not.
Probably.
Nothing happened. It's fine.
Probably.
Oh, scared of Bessie.
It's fine.
All right. So.
Jamie can't rush to the
Oh, natural 1. Nothing happens.
Yes!
Called it!
Well, at least when you're gonna talk shit, it's gonna be a crit.
That's
All
what I was
right.
waiting for.
So as you're heading to the docks, Sarah says to you, he says, if you think getting into the city is difficult, you'll find getting out is even more difficult. I used to have a contact here, and so he says he's going to go meet someone to try to get a writ of passage.
And I will arrange safe passage out of the city and look into provisioning. It'll likely involve some bribes to obtain proper licenses and such, which will take time. We should plan on staying here for at least a full day, perhaps 2. The rest of the party followed after, threading their way through the dilapidated streets of the city's dock quarter to a fortress-like inn a few blocks from the wharves. A sign lettered in both Dwarvish and Undercommon named the place as the Cold Foundry. The building itself consisted of an encircling stone wall, guarding a number of small, freestanding blockhouses. The company halted just outside the inn's front gate, which stood beside a pen holding huge, foul-smelling pack lizards.
So, the other thing you notice about the
The
duergar
short,
is this.
stocky grey dwarves crowding the streets went about their business with a sullen purposefulness. They didn't laugh, or primp and preen, or even trade veiled threats with one another. Instead, they glared angrily at passers-by of any race, including their own, and stomped along beneath heavy shirts of mail. Fists gripped tightly on the hafts of axes and hammers thrust through their broad belts.
So you get to the docks. Nothing seems to happen on the way. And after like an hour of navigation, you glimpse an orange glow in the distance. So you guys can kind of put yourselves over here.
No, I'm just in the water.
And so you see your man Wirtz, Salt Baron. We'll say he is this guy. Alright.
I feel it. That was me.
What?
And he's kind of across the docks
I feel that.
a ways.
Oh.
He doesn't see you. You get to about here as you're approaching him. And suddenly, two invisible duergar appear next to him and start to stab him viciously with glowing swords.
Yeah,
The assassins' faces are masked and hooded. Roll initiative.
yeah, that usually happens.
That's how this town is.
see.
So you see that both of the assassins appear to be holding,
Oh, I'm riding Bessie, by the way.
of course, holding what look like glowing or maybe energy blades, some kind of magical
I
blade,
did
Once.
catch you.
and they
Right.
they're definitely trying to kill Wirtz. So Lucky, you're up.
How, we're being watched, obviously, right?
You wonder.
I'm gonna hold action and see what happens.
Stop biting your finger. You wonder.
This is the guy you're supposed to pay off, though.
Oh,
You're
this is the
kind of
guy?
concerned about it.
So if we don't pay him off, we die.
Well, I mean, he's dead.
Someone else takes this, that's all.
I don't know. Is that guy gonna come looking for us?
Hunter's mark?
You can hunter's mark him. Yep. You want to shoot one of the...
Assassins.
Yep. Like this closest guy?
Whichever one I can reach first.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 16.
16 will hit.
17 damage.
Nice. Alright.
And then I get to hit him again.
Let me make sure no resistances. Okay. You got 2 attacks now.
Yeah. I rolled the exact same thing.
That's awesome. Damage.
13. Jesus.
He dies.
Cool.
Wow.
Wow.
Kojo.
22 hit, magical javelin.
Oh, okay. What's the distance on that? So
30
this
to
would be about
120.
120 feet?
These
Are you
assassins
like
pick
track
the
and
wrong
fielding
guy.
it?
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck you.
Do it.
You gotta do the weird like grunting noise when you throw it though, the really, really loud one.
Welcome to the 5th level, DM.
Question.
Killing all these bitches.
Question. Since we're like, they're fighting this guy, would that be considered sneak attack?
Sure.
You can hide behind me and throw it.
Because he's actively engaged in somebody.
Yep.
20 damage?
Kills him.
Damn. I
Nice.
feel like we're due for a high
Plus
five.
5, 25 damage.
Damn.
Jesus.
High five?
Awesome.
High paw?
So, Wirtz starts getting stabbed. He shouts out in surprise, and then arrow, javelin, and the duergar just drop next to him, and he's like, "What happened? Hello?" He seems very confused. What do you guys want to do?
We probably should walk up
Yeah,
and
no.
introduce ourselves. I'm getting my arrows back though.
I'm gonna walk up and click my javelin.
Same.
Okay.
Ooh, this.
Believe you in my
Yes.
contact.
I believe you're my contact. He's not sure who you are.
I'm gonna take my dagger and kind of flip it cool, catch it by the blade itself, and hand it to him.
I understand. Yes, I've made deals like this before. You'll find that you'll be protected now.
Who needs protection?
Protected like you.
He laughs and he says, I see your point. He says, those were soul blades. Are you new to Gracklestugh?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
As I said that, I'm gonna rip a mask
You
off.
say yes, you say no.
As I said that, I'm gonna take a mask off
Okay.
and admire the mask and that cool looking lightsaber dagger.
I'm checking out the other lightsaber dagger. the one I
Yeah,
killed.
so those daggers aren't there anymore. When they died, they disappeared somehow.
Oh.
Pouting.
But you search them, and you see a fishskin parchment bearing Wirtz's likeness drawn in charcoal. So obviously they were on a mission to kill this
I hand
guy.
that to him.
Is it a nice
you go.
drawing?
Is it a nice drawing?
Is it a pretty
Is
drawing?
it well done?
I want to keep it.
Okay, you keep it.
Oh.
I acquire useless things.
Yeah, he says, we best be off. I'm sure the guards are being summoned. And he kind of like takes you guys around the side of the building or a little further away. He says, I want to thank you again. You saved my life. He says, meet me at the Shattered Spire tomorrow so I can reward you properly.
How are we supposed to meet you there?
If they don't like us.
We're gonna be invited. What's that guy's name again?
He says, just drop my name and I'll let you in.
Where's Saltberry?
Right.
Salty.
He
Where's
says-
Salty Dick?
He says, thanks again, and he starts to take off unless you want to ask him anything.
Yeah. Oh, wait, not so fast. I hold up one of the masks. It is gods. Not gods, are they?
One of the masks. Oh, you mean the assassin's mask?
Yeah. Not knowing they're assassins and the guards are coming.
Are they
maybe.
cool?
Yeah, so he tells you a little bit. He says, we don't have time now, but tomorrow I'll let you know about what's going on in the city.
So you should leave us here behind
For now.
when the guards come?
He said, I would make yourself scarce, but I owe you my life.
Oh, never mind for yourself. We should get the fuck out.
Yep.
So
We like push him in the water at least.
yeah, so everybody runs off. Okay. Make a history check, Zeeks.
Did the masks disappear, or is that with the?
17?
A 17 does it. So you remember that the Grey Ghosts are the only true thieves guild in Gracklestugh and the Deep Kingdom. That its members are duergar and Darrow outcasts. So you think that maybe it's either the Grey Ghosts or another faction known as the Empty Scabbard Killers, who are psionic assassins. What do you guys want to do next?
Go to sleep.
Wait, go back to the inn
Yeah.
And
Okay.
barricade the door.
quickly.
So you go back to the inn. On your way back, despite being stealthy, you see a few things.
Mm-hmm.
Make perception checks.
Man, what is it?
6.
19.
Yeah.
9.
Okay. So you see one thing.
17, 15 or 17?
17? Okay. You see a drow that's kind of like on the side of the road. She's got a few quaggoth, which are those kind of beast men, with her. And she seems to start when she sees the party. And she like is eyeing you, her eyes narrow. And she's like eyeing you. And then she whispers to one of the quaggoth, who disappears. And then you kind of walk past. You find that interesting. And you, however, with a 17, see something that shakes you to the very core. And that is, you see the face of Bupido.
He was the one who was cutting people up when we were traveling on the way here.
You see him only for a second, and then he ducks back into the crowd with a smile on his face. And you make it back to the inn, where you can collect some information if you want, before you guys rest. You guys can make
Investigation.
an investigation check, start asking around, see what's going on.
Passive 17.
Passive is 17. Nice.
Is that? I still need to roll.
No. Well, you can always roll a 20.
Go one.
Yeah.
No.
No.
What about insight?
Oh wait a second. Did I? Investigation, you said?
Insight? No.
Oh, actually, no, I did. I rolled a 19.
Okay.
Nice.
What did everybody else get? You guys can all do it.
What are we rolling for?
Just trying to gather some information.
12.
I talked to the wrong people.
6 again.
6.
Staring at
I'm
me.
too cute for this place.
Yeah, how is Emra taking all this? Because she's like very out of her element, I would think, in this place. There's no beauty here. There's no like.
I'm not liking it.
They're not, worshiping
all mean
good
and I don't
gods
like
at all.
it.
Right. So you hear a few things about general happenings in the Underdark around as well as things that are going on in the city. So you hear about a festival called the Fire Fest that is going to be in a few days.
That's gonna be an ass.
Is it with a Y or an I?
It's with an I. And I wonder if this was written before that or after it.
Had to be before.
I don't know. Maybe.
You'll never know.
Right. There's a fire festival coming up in a few days. You hear that a passing Darrow merchant saw a dead elf lying in a tunnel while traveling. The tunnel just outside the city. That Darrow had looted the corpse of the dead elf, but they were too afraid that whatever killed the elf might be nearby, and he gives you directions to where this all went down. He also tells you that duergar of Gracklestugh have been acting strange of late. The guy you're talking to is unsure what's going on, but it has been very good for business as he has been pouring lots of drinks.
Different how? Acting strange how?
He says that the duergar generally always act the same way. They're industrious people who keep their heads down, they don't play, they work hard. They're generally honest, but they'll intimidate you into getting what they want. Lately, they've been brawling and fighting more. They've been ripping people off, like the guy at the front gates did to you guys.
We'll try.
Or tried to. So yeah, they say that something has changed in the last few months, but they're not sure what. So you learned a little bit about those few things.
Any mention of demon lords, or maybe escaped? Was it
Demigorgon?
Demigorgons? Somehow?
Yeah. So when you say that, they don't know anything about it. The guy that you're talking to doesn't know anything about it. He says, "What's this? Demon lords from the abyss, just wandering about."
Yeah, like big fiery ones with lots of heads. Super scary when you look at them.
Always scary.
I'm pretty sure you guys have had too much to drink.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, if you have any travelers on the way here from
Watch out.
maybe they can tell you the same tale.
Cool. Okay.
Those fish people knew how to party hard.
Oh, yeah.
Are they Murlocs or are they fish people?
Okay.
I know.
Yeah, that noise.
That's how you
so
pronounce older names.
So, before we got lost, and then I found you guys again, there was like someone else with us, right?
There was a couple people
Globable?
with us.
No.
Shushar the Awakened?
No. Boopido? Oh, wait,
So
no,
there
no.
was Prince.
Yes! I don't know.
There was Prince Scramby
I've been
Brains,
following you this whole time.
and he got murdered
Yep.
by
That was Prince Scramble.
the gambler, right?
Prince Darendale. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yep.
and I had a spell that made everyone tell the truth. And he was like, "Nah, I'm not answering your questions." And then he was like, "Yeah, it was me, bitches." And then, boom, he was gone. There was all his blood, and he was gone.
Blood
Something
magic.
about the murder god or something.
Oh, I see. He's here.
I think I went temporarily insane. Wasn't my character the one who rolled really low and I was like crazy for like a couple hours?
Yeah.
Just
But
like
his was crazy
Remember that?
for longer.
Yes.
Right?
At
You were crazy longer, though.
hearing Boopido,
Oh wait, didn't I?
Zirius turns
oh,
white.
Oh yeah, I shot you with a crossbow, I think.
Yeah, I bet he
Hey,
would.
plain white.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Nah, I need more to drink.
There was a murder god involved.
Murder gods. are involved.
And I get PTSD when you bring up the fiery demon lord.
Right.
You were being carried away like a sack of potatoes. You were
I
fine.
didn't even know.
Okay, you were losing your mind.
That's when I lost my mind.
Thank you for reminding that, because I definitely shot you with a crossbow,
Yeah.
but we were both crazy.
And we stuck you in the bag of holding.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
I feel like I played with all the shiny things while I was in there,
Yeah.
and then just hissed in the back of them.
He like sprinkled catnip in it.
Is that something we can get in the Underdark?
He like
Probably.
tated it.
That's right. So you guys go to sleep. But intermittently throughout the night, you wake up coughing. Even in the inn room, this like
Smoke.
like smoke from the smelters and
Oh, just the smelters?
yeah. So I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Can I actually do
What?
something else, actually?
Wouldn't I be used to it?
Was that like a poison?
Yeah, you don't need to make it.
Would it be considered a poison?
Oh, son of a...
Well, I can use it on myself.
I feel.
That's not good.
10.
I've got a protection from poison spell. If I use it on myself?
You can.
Okay, we're gonna do that.
Okay, you do that. What'd you get, Ryan?
14.
14. You're fine. The two of you guys,
Oh.
the constant smog in Gracklestugh causes grackle lung in living, breathing creatures. You start having racking coughs and spewing thick black phlegm.
No. Ugh.
How
Not for you?
So you guys will take one level of
Assault
exhaustion,
Ah, yeah.
which is disadvantage on ability checks.
We should about.
So, Kojo would have asked you your
The invisible
reaction
thing
to
fell, so I
Bubido.
can't see it.
Your reaction to Bubido.
Pale white.
Yeah, what do you tell Kojo about that?
So, Emra, actually, this applies to both of you
There it
guys.
is. Okay. Wait, no, bring it back. I can't
Clear
tell if I
as
can reach it.
So, because you're hacking and coughing so much, any creature that attempts to cast a spell with a verbal component must succeed on a Constitution check,
Oh, crap.
or be unable to complete the spell.
What the fuck kind of shit is that?
It's called Grackle Cough.
What the
Grackle
fuck?
Lung.
The old grackle lung.
It's called
What?
COVID.
What the
Right.
The Underdark
I
came
got
first.
the grackle. But you realize that you don't think this is going to get better until you leave the city. So you're now encouraged to get the information that you need and try to get out as
Get
fast
the
as
hell
possible.
out.
Possible,
Can I
yeah.
press? Can I press? Did you say the face mask?
No.
What about an N95 mask?
Yeah, and N95.
You wouldn't know what that is.
Go to the vendor and be like, wait, on the surface we have these things called N95 masks. Do you guys have that down here?
So from here, you guys wake up the next morning. You get another long rest. Everybody takes inspiration because you guys have been doing some good role playing. If you don't have it already. Yeah, you've got some options. You can go to the Shattered Spire and try to meet Wirtz. You can go to. There's a brewery. I don't know.
Ryan, show yourself.
Yeah.
Kojo. Kojo pulls out another bird bush.
You got the Dark Lake Brewery. It's up there. You also heard about a few other places. So, Overlake Hold is here. That's basically the prison and where the Stone Guards, which are the elite Deep King warriors, are barracked.
Oh yeah, let's go there.
No.
Sounds like a great place to.
Hey, which one of you guys knows
Know about.
my food?
They tell you about this place, the Halls of Sacred Scrolls. There is a cabal of Darrow wizards
Yeah.
that stay there. You've heard that it's difficult to get inside and that they use some kind of magic to enter.
Like spiritual weapon and knock the doors down.
More like pass wall and teleportation type level shit.
That blink.
And then of course the Deep King himself has a hold down here.
The thing on me, has that gotten worse?
Ah yes, the night later. It's grown a little larger. It looks like a a large wart, maybe.
Okay, I'm gonna tell everyone about that. Stop hiding stool
You
over
gonna
it.
show me?
You have switched stool to the other arm, and it doesn't seem to make a difference.
No, I mean I was like hiding him.
Oh,
Hiding it
okay.
with him,
From
like-
I got it. Okay.
This is how I've always held stool.
Right.
Stool's like permanently attached to your arm now.
Yeah. So, you
Should
guys.
put it off.
No! I don't know!
Put it out.
Would I have any idea what that is?
No.
Okay.
Does
you
it
don't.
move if I poke it?
It doesn't move when you poke it, as if something's festering underneath
I
of
was
it.
gonna
Or
say yes.
No,
Hard timing. Okay, it does not move.
does not move.
Does it hurt if I poke it?
It almost looks like regular skin. Not like a rash or,
Like she's growing another arm
maybe.
or appendage?
Could be.
What did you touch?
Nothing!
Grow an extra
Does it
lip?
look like anything on Sarah at all?
Did you sleep in your full gear in the inn, or did you finally try to get a good night's rest and take off all
In
your
the
stuff?
end, I probably would not have.
Okay.
Since we're all in the same room and we can lock the door.
So I need you to make a history check, and everybody can make it now that you've told them about the problem.
Good. That's not great.
13 plus no, or plus 2.
9.
15.
I'm gonna retire this one.
Thanks, Joe.
The second one.
Did anybody beat a 15?
I got a 15.
Okay. So you start telling the story. You're like, oh yeah, I've heard about something about this breastplate. You tell them that Brianna Hammerfist, a dwarf cleric of Timora, met with a horrible demise while traversing the Underdark with her adventuring comrades. Though her fellow adventurers fell prey to an aboleth many tunnels away, some say they were better off than poor Brianna. The adventurers found a magical breastplate in a mass of living vegetation. They all thought it to be a lucky find and gave the cleric the enhanced armor. Little did they know that the metal the item was fashioned from was infused with energy from the Far Realm, which you guys would commonly know as the Abyss, known to have some adverse effects on the living. He tells you it started slowly for Brianna. A wart here, a small sore there, a little itch here. Eventually these things grew into small appendages, unusable nubs and gaping wounds. No healing magic could stave off the effects, and no one determined that the new armor was the cause. Poor Brianna, useless and too mutated to move, found herself rejected by the adventurers she had called family for nearly a year. She died in the dark, alone.
Well, yeah, but you'll be alright, you know? It's just a little
Can you make that
bitty.
noise again?
So you have a crisis of faith. Why would Timora send you to this breastplate? Why would it be infused with dark energy? All these questions come flooding to your mind as you start inspecting the growth more to see if it's looking like something.
Yeah, you should probably keep an eye on that. Play with it a little bit.
So I want you to roll a d8 for me.
Oh,
Oh,
D8
no.
bludgeoning
Scared.
damage.
5.
Uh-oh.
It grows rapidly.
Oh, that's
You have appendages on your boobs
All right.
Oh, don't ruin
Uh,
for those.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Got the nipples that are like 5 inches long.
Oh, no. Oh.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Wait a second.
And you realize that when you try to remove the armor, it's cursed and you can't take it off.
Oh
Have you ever tried to remove it before?
Yeah.
no!
We can't get it off her.
Right.
Wait, can I try?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Coach is gonna help.
Strength check? Wait,
Yeah.
You grab,
You guys try.
You grab one side, I grab the other.
You guys try for an hour and nothing. It's not budging. It's magically fixed to her.
Well,
I take off my cape.
I'll miss you.
Come off.
Uh-huh.
Put it around.
Everybody starts like putting their items down on the ground and then picking it back up.
You guys and your fancy gear.
But
Just got good old Betsy.
Yeah,
the part that's
Yeah,
really
like-
Kind
confusing
of fanciest gear.
I do.
is that the
I don't
drow
think
has
that's
like a severe case of this thing.
Oh, you're not sure it's the same thing.
I'm a duergar, remember?
If he's growing mushrooms,
Duergar
she
was
might
gonna
grow
fuck on magical
appendages.
gear.
Oh.
So it didn't have anything to do with the plant it was growing on?
You don't think
The
so,
plant
right?
wasn't sus?
Right.
Magical beer.
Oh,
Seraph is still weird, and something's going on there,
Is it
but
in there?
it's not the same thing as you think
Well,
what's going on
it was
too.
gonna happen.
Hang on. So now that I know this, before we head out, can I prep my spells for the day? And can I get remove curse and use that?
Yeah, you can. Can you pray for remove curse?
Yeah, it's one of the spells I can know, and since I'm a cleric, I can change out my spells every day.
Yep.
I just have to like
Do
pray.
it. So,
But she's
because of the power of the curse and the place you're in, I still want you to roll. I'm gonna make an
Okay, yeah,
opposed
yeah,
roll.
yeah.
You dirty dog. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Come on, 1.
You beat an 8.
9.
9?
No.
Yeah!
Yes!
You take it off.
Oh my god!
The numb's still there, but you hope it'll go away eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that do to your
Sounds
armor
like you
class?
should,
Does anybody have armor to give her?
I do.
I have studded armor.
It kind of sucks because it was slashing resistance, breastplate +1 or something like that.
It kind of sucks.
Yeah,
Kind of sucks. It really sucks. It's from Timora.
yeah, but that could have been an appendage of Tamora. She could have been growing on you.
Hey, you know what?
She's just
So
figuring
it's
you from
interesting
inside.
as you're looking at it and you've taken it off. Maybe an hour has passed. You're trying to get some sleep. The symbol of Timora that was previously on it disappears, and a different holy symbol appears on
Thank goodness.
This bitch!
it.
Oh, I have
Not mine!
I've got an adamantine scale mail.
So you
What's that?
suspect it was
Nice armor.
magically applied to entice you into taking it.
It was a lie.
It was Poopido. Poopido did it.
Could be Pupido.
Now
Maybe
you're
it was
like, what
that
is
guy.
the-
He's the magic
What's up?
guy.
You guys have some options when you wake up in the morning. You weren't able to glean any information about how to get to the surface from the bartender or any of the patrons here. Seraph is gone for the moment. He's trying to get a writ of passage for you guys to get out of the city, but you don't know that he's super trustworthy or capable at this point, given his disease state. So it may be on you guys to get the information you need and get out of here.
You suggest that maybe he's soaking a tub of tea.
Can we send him to try to get information? Just leave?
Seraph is gone right now.
Oh, he's going on?
Yeah,
Well, turn it and leave.
yeah. So you had a couple of leads, right? Yeah, works.
Yeah,
We're
sure.
gonna meet you at the Shattered Spire.
Yes, let's go there.
You could try to check out the Blade Bazaar and see if you could trade or negotiate there.
This way.
I'm with them.
I can't.
Remember you were there. I'm with you.
So you guys are gonna go.
I think maybe we
to-
should get the protection solidified and then maybe go to the bazaar after, not before.
You're gonna go to the bazaar afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the
Alright.
Shattered Spire is continuing on.
I don't want
So
to scale.
what?
Disadvantage to stealth.
Okay.
That's where we gotta do a name drop, right?
That's right. So you kind of have to pass partly through the bazaar here to get.
Wait,
out
we're gonna
to-
take all our shit with us.
Alright.
We're not gonna tell that weirdo that we're moving.
What weirdo? Oh, Sarah.
Yeah, Seraph is still nowhere to be
You
seen.
don't think he's gonna just find you randomly? Come on.
I think he's gonna turn into a mushroom before we.
We're just gonna wake up and he's just gonna be a mushroom.
I know.
He secretly
A bigger
put,
version of stool?
he
Yeah.
secretly put a piece of him in each of you, and then he's always gonna be with you.
Creepy.
Oh, thanks. It's nice to meet
You
So-
thought those chunks fell off?
you.
Ugh.
He's a truffle man.
Oh.
Oh, he kind of fucked me. I was like, ah, what's. Oh, TV.
Okay, so you guys get to about here as you're traveling to the Shattered Spire, and the rhythmic hammering of the city's forges is drowned for a second by a thundering roar and the sound of crumbling rock. Duergar and visitors alike turn to look as a two-headed, gray-skinned giant bursts through a gate, howling madly and lashing out left and right, littering the plaza with rocks and stone debris. As he bellows, one of his swings connects with a duergar soldier whose broken body flies through the air and crashes near you with a sickening crunch. The two-headed giant looks up at you, and
Oh, that me.
Oh my god!
Oh, Jesus. 3D print all of this, or is this cloth?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Dwarf? Oh, alright.
all right.
It's okay, we're just gonna roll the whole time.
I figured you might want to check it out for a little bit.
Admire it.
Right. You guys are kind of right in the middle here. And we'll say you were heading from this direction to like over there, that direction.
Does Probable just randomly show up and be my buddy?
He's your companion.
He's
Yep.
my companion, that's best.
All right. This is
Koja. Because it's like,
this is your rampaging giant.
Probable just shows up and he's my
Why is he
buddy.
right there? That's
My
me.
speed is
That's me.
Oh, that's her. That's her.
Koja's like, God damn it, I thought I lost you.
It's me.
Zero.
I'm an archer. I'd rather be in the back.
All right.
Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome.
This is awesome.
I know.
Too awesome. Throw it
I feel
out.
like I need to take all the
Wait,
photos.
These are the visible duergar commoners.
Oh,
Yeah.
The commoners?
This
Yeah,
is the inn?
This is merchants and
Wait,
stuff.
where- oh,
No,
this
you
is
guys
the
are
square.
kind of going through the bazaar. These are little shop
On the
tables
way
and stuff.
there.
Yeah, so he crunches this duergar soldier, body flies through the air, and he looks up at you. Whoever he's facing, I guess he's facing all of you guys, you can make an insight check.
Ooh.
Say all of us.
Yeah.
8.
16.
So some fancy dice.
16.
Haha.
Anybody beat a 16?
Yeah.
One.
20.
I got an 8.
Sorry, Leah.
Worse than me.
Go that.
Just one?
22.
Insight?
So, okay, so a couple things that you know. He looks like a stone giant, but stone giants never have two heads. That's weird. And he looks like he's terrified about it. Something has happened to him. Is your
He's terrified
sense.
that he has 2 heads.
Does he
Uh-huh.
have a breastplate on?
He does not. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, I don't have it close.
Woo.
Yes.
Hey.
20? Nat 20.
No, 19 plus 1, 20. 30, 20.
Okay.
Dirties.
Dirty.
Lucky.
17.
15.
17 is Zeke's, 15 is Lucky, and Emra?
9.
9. Okay. So Xeris,
Oh.
start us off.
So this giant he's rampaging, raging.
Yeah, he's just killing everything in its path.
Scared
Uh,
also.
And he looks terrified.
Does anybody speak Czech?
Terrifying isn't the reason for
All
murder.
right.
Right.
Well, I'm going to soothe said giant with a giant lullaby. So I'm gonna thaumaturge this music.
Chugging with the cantrip.
I'm just
Big
gonna,
guns.
yeah, big guns out.
Flexing a little bit.
You know,
Worth the shot.
it is. You know, he's rampaging. Just a small,
Sure.
relaxing tune to try and reason, or at least get him to reason with and let him know that he's okay.
Calm down.
Okay.
Why I load my crossbow.
Bro, look, you might have another head, but you'll be alright.
Okay.
Smart.
So, go ahead and make a persuasion
Persuasion.
check.
Come on, natty 20.
20 close.
Almost. It's 17 plus.
Yeah. He is not lulled.
He's not. Well, 17 plus.
You needed a 20.
But
Yeah.
hold on, what was I rolling? What kind of roll was it?
Persuasion.
Persuasion.
Persuasion. All right, let me make sure. So I might have a +3. A +2. Shit.
Okay. You want to move?
Oh, but she gave me guidance, right?
No. None of that after the fact guidance bullshit.
That's all right. It's a skill check. It's a disadvantage anyway. So.
I would inspire you, but my
True.
songs do nothing.
Oh yeah, when I get
Yeah.
that.
Oops.
And to cast a spell, you need to make a Constitution check.
Oh,
Oh, see, you
because
did
of the
it.
small.
Yeah.
Koja.
I pull out my 2 short swords.
I like
It's a rage.
Yep.
And
because being
19 plus 8.
Ooh. Wow. Yeah, that'll
19
hit.
plus 8.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, you just
I suck
destroyed
him.
that bastard's cart?
You're pointing to his peen.
That's right. I'm about to suck that thing.
Does it
And
hit?
so a rampage of blowjobs continues.
Does it hit or does it insert?
Oh, no.
19 to insert.
Also, does this count for sneak attack?
Let me roll.
Is he fighting this guy?
No, it's no sneak attack here.
We're all given the privilege of listening to his secret attack. Gong, 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 gong.
6 damage, sir.
Is that a
Okay.
fish person?
Alright. 6 damage. You wanna move anywhere?
Yeah.
Does he just
Okay. Okay. So it's going to swing its clubs that are fists, and it's going to try to punch you once, and this duergar over here once.
Not me, duergar.
Correct.
You're behind that.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that cape is
Oh, that's not going to do it. So he. Oh, almost max damage. This guy crumples.
Oh no.
Yay.
And he's gonna roll a 21 to hit Kojo. And he's gonna do
definitely gonna hit Kojo. I hit
10
anybody.
damage.
They have it now.
Are you raging?
Yes.
That's bludgeoning, so yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna teabag your face after he. Actually, that's when he hits you.
That's how he hits you.
Right. Did I say fists? I meant.
Ball
This wasn't the
bludgeoning.
other guy.
Could you
That's
imagine?
true.
I think that would do psychic damage. as
Right.
well. Just saying.
Right.
Oof.
Okay, so Zeke's, you're up.
Trauma acquired.
I'm on Bessie, so I'm going to go over and I'm going to attempt to make a melee attack with my warhammer.
Okay.
Go, baby!
And while I am mounted, Bessie will also get to make a melee attack against the target. So does a 15 plus 5 hit?
Yes.
Dirty 20. The dirtiest.
And 6 damage.
Okay.
And then I
And Bessie.
make a Bessie attack.
Yep.
Which is 15 plus 8.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
So that is 1d4. So 1 plus 2 poison damage, and it must succeed at DC 13 or be poisoned for 1 minute.
Alright.
The target is paralyzed if it fails.
What's the DC on it?
13.
13. He succeeded.
Okay.
Alright, so 3 damage poison total?
Yep.
Okay. Ava, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot him. 14.
Does not hit.
Shit. 23.
23 hits. Yep, roll damage.
16 damage.
Nice. Because he's raging, he doesn't seem to be taking all this damage. You notice that it doesn't seem to slow him. He's just totally enraged. But yes, you hit him, but it doesn't slow him. Emra, what are you doing?
I would like to bonus action cast Spiritual Weapon.
So I'm going to need you to make a Constitution check.
Nice. I already forgot about that.
Oh no! That's a 4.
Yeah,
That's not going to do it. You start saying the words and it just
Wait.
ends in a coughing fit.
I want to use my inspiration, but I don't.
Don't.
Oh yeah, we still have inspiration.
You guys should use it more often. I
I'm
realized
gonna
we
use it. I'm
didn't
using
use it
it.
at all last
I'm using
session.
I did.
Like one person? Okay. Oh no!
Oh no!
That one.
Worse.
Oh,
Why did I
You
use
just hack up a whole lung?
Do you want to move?
You need to work on your rolling.
it? Yeah.
Wait,
Wait.
can I use a bonus action to gesture her over to me?
Yes, you can. On your turn.
I would like to, as my action, I want to throw a dagger.
Okay.
That's a 16 plus
Yep, that'll hit.
whatever it is to throw
Yep,
it.
yep,
That was a 1
Okay.
plus so 4.
So 4 total. Okay. All right. sticks in his thigh.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I want to back up a little bit.
Okay.
Move me back a little bit. Yep. There we go.
Okay.
Huh.
Right. So the duergar are gonna go, and they start backing up. This guy leaps over here. This guy kind of like sneaks over into the corner. Two blink out and disappear. This guy goes here. He blinks out. Okay. And you hear the march of booted feet. You think maybe the guards are coming. It's back to Xerius.
You said that if the spell is verbal.
Yes, correct.
If it is not verbal,
Yep. Bring it.
then I only have one spell.
You have to do the YMCA though.
I don't think any of my spells.
So Sirius starts to do the YMCA,
Yes.
and he conjures a minor illusion
Okay.
of a sailor duergar,
Okay. Not sure where this is going, but go on.
and he starts growling YMCA at this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'm gonna.
And I'm out.
All the way over here.
Okay. All right. So you're trying to intimidate him with it?
Hmm?
With the illusion, or just make another target?
I'm just trying to. Yeah.
Yep. Kojo.
Yep.
What are you doing?
So he hits that instead.
Yep.
You're trying to grab my dice that have betrayed me.
Twice.
And that's the illusion. Just
Yeah.
14 doesn't hit, right?
15 does not.
So I'll get one hit in. 5, 10, 15, 18 damage.
Okay.
And I can't dispel or anything.
I can't heal y'all if I can't pass that either.
I'm gonna
say
say
no.
no. Fail it.
Oh,
So you know.
Well, I was trying. I have a protection from poison. And that's the only reason I didn't have to roll for. I'm just gonna. Nice lungs.
is that a buff?
No, it's a level 2 spell.
Really? Oh, protection from.
I was like, there's a lot of poison shots. Like, we're dealing a drow. Yeah, I want that.
So I could technically enlarge to fight him, and my mount enlarges with him.
Nice.
Wait.
Do
You
that.
can enlarge to medium?
I can enlarge to.
To an
Fuck
actual
you.
size.
You should shove that motherfucker in the lava.
Yeah.
You can enlarge. Just give him a quick little shove.
You don't.
We just need some rope.
You don't roll one of this.
Yeah, that's one thing that's nice
He's
about
tall,
this.
but rope.
All right.
So if I enlarge, do I go to a medium or a large? That'd be a large.
No, you're still a medium. Yeah. You're already a.
I'm a
Yeah.
medium. So
Yeah,
if I
you're
enlarge,
medium, you'd
I'd
go to
to
large.
Okay.
You'd be a large creature.
Ryan was just being a dick.
Well, no, that's what I was like. Wait a minute, dick.
Yeah. Okay. I think you did damage. It's his turn. He's gonna attack you, Zeeks, this time.
He's being speciesist.
So he's just screaming in rage, and he's just swinging. He's gonna try to attack both of you. So the first one,
Well,
What about the minor illusion?
YMCA duergar.
I'll roll to see. I'll roll to see if it works.
Please go hit. Roll a 2.
Are you squishy?
Oh, he does swing after the illusion once.
You'd want to.
Nice.
All right,
Who wants to hear YMCA? Oh, gotta kill that guy.
and then we'll do
Why do you think I'm in your comment?
Zeke's. That's the second attack.
I have a jab.
Zeke's miss,
Yes.
and he hits the other illusion, and he doesn't believe it anymore.
But it's still screaming at him.
Sure.
Working on dangerous stuff.
He says, and he's like mad that it's some kind of sorcery, and he charges. Charge
Oh.
one. I guess
Through
he can't,
Kojo?
he can't go through you, I guess.
Well, technically, you just duck
What?
under his nuts.
Yes.
Shove him out the way.
Just duck.
You just get seriously.
Yeah, what could he do? Yep. From both of you guys.
Oh shit. Don't come over
From
here.
all 3 of us.
What the hell kind of move is that?
Big 40 feet movement.
40 feet?
Just
But he
squishy
jumped.
faster.
He jumped.
And then walks.
Just casually.
coming for you.
Yeah.
Seeks your attack of opportunity.
I'm not sure
It was
if
11 plus
sneak attack would work.
5.
How do you even
Sneak
know?
attack do anything?
Does 11 plus 5 for me
Is
hit?
that bonus?
Does a 16 hit?
I don't. No, I don't think you can
I
use.
should know that anyways.
Does a
10
16
damage.
Okay, 16 does not hit.
Alright.
16 does not hit.
Bessie gets an opportunity attack, right? Against the same
Okay,
target as a reaction.
sure. It's a melee attack.
So-
That's fine. Go for it.
That's good stuff. Oops, that's
Still-
a 9. So 9.
Okay.
Oh, wait. It's a plus 8.
17.
9.
Plus 8.
Melee
17.
attack.
17.
Yeah,
That hits.
Hit.
that's a 17.
1d4.
Roll it up.
4.
Nice.
All right.
Plus 2. And then it has to beat a 7, 13.
They are not constitutionally challenged. He's doing fine.
Asshole.
So,
Just be
Zeke, it's your
paralyzed.
turn now.
Yeah, can you move me over? Yeah, I guess just move me behind him. Alright, and I'm going to do a versatile warhammer here. For a natty 20.
Nice.
So that's going to be a d10.
How do you do your damage in that?
Yeah, got it.
What's that?
How do you do your damage?
Ooh, max damage.
Max damage,
4.
bro. So the dice is 10.
You roll an extra damage die,
You
right?
just roll an extra.
Yeah. It's not doubled or anything. Nope.
Alright, so 10, 12.
Uh huh.
And then for Bessie, 12.
Plus 8. 30,
Hold on.
20.
That'll hit.
That's a 1, so 3 damage.
18.
Yes. So
Now you're rolling well.
3 poison damage.
Okay. 3 more poison damage. All right. So, Ava, you're up.
Ooh. It's a 22 to hit.
That does it.
12.
12 damage. Okay.
I'll do it again.
Uh huh.
Ooh, 26.
26 to hit. Nice. 15
damage.
All right. Okay. Movement.
I'm just gonna get tucked back behind my beam and I'm gonna hang out here.
Okay. Emerald.
Probably dumb, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I would like to run up to my friend here, the wizard, and I'd like to use my short sword. 16 plus 6.
That'll hit.
5, 6, 7, 8. Piercing.
Nice. Okay. You've moved. So the duergar that are remaining here are going to step back. The guards up here, if you could just have him run off into the corner.
You should.
So you see a party, 2 stone guards. They're like gonna be over here. And they're making their way towards you guys. And you see a unique looking duergar. He's carrying a flaming spear. The spear is on fire. So they've entered, and Xerius.
So, disengage is an action.
Yep.
That sounds like a plan.
Sure.
I did not wake up this morning. Think I'd get my head smashed in by a stone giant.
Sure. Who does?
Exactly. Who does?
Okay.
And then he starts twiddling his thumbs.
Where'd you end up?
He starts twiddling
You're
his
way
thumbs.
over there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Kojo.
You want to jump off that table? What the fuck?
What'd you say?
My
I
first
missed
attack.
it.
Roll the fuck.
He steps on his cape.
13 plus 8.
Yep.
Anything happen on that first attack?
Did you throw something at him?
No, I'm running.
Okay, there it is.
On this table, and I'm gonna try to stab him in his back.
Alright, so you jump up onto the table, you leap up,
Aw.
stab him in the back.
He's
And
learning.
it hits.
And you get sneak attack. Because I'm right there.
Yep.
Feel the impulse to join in.
8, 13, 17 damage.
Nice. He's starting to look injured. He's growling in pain and anger. He says, What's happening to me? He seems very confused. It's like he's realizing where he's at all of a sudden. But he's still fighting. And he's going to turn and attack the cleric with 2 fists.
I think you're God of luck.
Harder to hit.
I think you're patience for lucky guys.
That's true.
Not as hard as I used to be.
What is your AC now?
Now it's 17.
Okay.
Holy.
It was 19.
That's still pretty
It
good.
was 19.
That's still pretty good.
He hits you twice.
No.
24 damage, bludgeoning.
Ugh.
Oh boy!
God.
Giant
Oh
trap.
boy!
And
Mighty.
you're like, Zeeks, what are you doing?
I'm gonna fuck him up.
I did the same Warhammer again.
Mm-hmm.
Versatile. Get out of my square. 16
Yep,
plus
that'll do it. Okay.
And then, Bessie here. That's a 9 plus 8. She hits.
Yep.
3 poison damage, 5 poison damage, and does he make the save?
Oh, what?
He does not make the save.
Yes!
All right.
He is poisoned for 1 minute. Until this poison ends, the target is paralyzed.
Okay.
Target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns.
Gotcha. Okay. At the end of each of his turns. Nice. All right.
So he can't do anything except try to save.
Yep.
Ava.
That's gonna be 25.
Yep.
Hit. That's gonna be a 15 damage.
Okay.
And then that's gonna be 21.
Yep. And he's paralyzed, right? So I
Yep.
think that does something to
Pretty sure.
his AC.
There's an advantage.
Is it like prone?
Well, he's giant, so technically he should just
And
be
that
so
last one
easy
was
to
just
hit.
10
Right.
Can't move.
I'm sorry.
10
I
damage.
guess
Ten
yeah,
more.
you're paralyzed.
Okay, really low.
Fall over, or
Nice.
Any attack that hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature.
no.
Oh.
You.
Man.
Talk him up. Talk
That's
him
gonna
up.
be painful.
Yeah, he's gonna be hurt.
Would spell damage also do that? If
Uh,
I hit it with a spell.
Any attack that hits the creature is a
Yeah.
critical hit.
Spell in the mouth.
yeah. Okay.
Just bite him.
Emra.
Should I try to hit him? Or should I just...
You're welcome,
Should I
guys.
use the spell or should I
Bessie,
just...
get put one in.
Bessie came through.
Bessie came.
Bessie. You know.
Evens, I use the spell. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to hit him. So I gotta do the con save.
Yep.
14.
15.
That'll do it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it hits. You can't.
It
you
fails the dex save.
There you go.
automatically
So it hits.
Because of the...
Go ahead and roll.
It fails strength and dex saves.
Nice.
Sweet. And it's a critical, so do I roll...
An extra damage die. So whatever it is. D8.
Roll it.
You roll 2
I roll... Oh, there's 2 1s.
Oh
And
no!
the extra one... Oh, the extra one's 8!
It kind of worked out.
So 10.
You're 10.
10 radiant damage.
Alright. So it's gonna
Hurt.
take
And then I'm gonna
Nice.
move 35 feet that way.
Sure.
Do I take damage from that? Because I hurt. Somebody hurts. No, I'm just kidding. All the duergar take radiant damage.
All temporarily blended.
Okay. You hear, "Halt! What is the meaning of this?" from the duergar. And they start.
What do you think?
Really?
Hey, is that the guy that tried to steal your dagger?
Meaning of this is we're tired of getting our ass kicked because he all fucking lollygagging.
Now they just sit there watching like, oh, it's almost dead. Let's go kill it now.
I know.
Right after I got a pretty damn good strike on it, they're like, oh, we're just
Yeah.
Pole
gonna
vaults
finish the
over
job.
here with his spear.
Yeah, after we've already started kicking
What's
his
the meaning
ass.
of this? Do you
Finally.
not see the giant
That's
raging
the
stone giant?
Raging stone giant.
One says, "I think it's the surfacers. I'm sure they instigated this."
You feel an eye roll from like 50 yards away.
Hey, can I peace out?
Okay, so we're back to Xerius.
Started what, bro? You want to kill? You want to finish killing him yourself? I mean, we already paralyzed him for you. Damn,
I
dog.
love how they cue it right as it's paralyzed.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Great.
really...
Damn,
Are you tired of surfaces earning your paycheck for you?
As
Dirty.
you're saying that to him, you hear what sounds like another giant's footsteps coming from through that gate away.
This way?
Yeah.
Okay, so as far away as possible.
Just keep going.
Just keep going that way. Yeah, so I'm gonna keep going that way. And I'm gonna hurl a firebolt.
All right. Constitution.
What is it? It's DC, it's a 20?
That'll
12 plus.
do
And then it's a advantage? Or it's disadvantage?
What? The spell effect? To hit him?
No, he's-
Advantage.
Oh,
Yeah.
because it's not a skill check, right?
It's
15
advantage, yeah,
plus. That will probably be
I was gonna use
fireball. Yeah. 15 plus 7, 22.
Roll it up.
And then it is 2d10. That's right. Because we are now. 9.
Okay. 9 damage.
Plus a credit? Or do I roll again? Or how does this work?
No, it was within 5 feet.
Oh, it's within
Yeah,
5 feet.
sure.
Okay, yeah, 9 damage. That's what I get from running
Giant's
away.
running. We're like drooling with the damage for this guy, but I'm gonna put my short swords away immediately.
Okay.
And turn around and talk to this guy.
While you're raging.
You just pinch yourself.
Yeah, like one eye's like twitching.
You're talking to who?
The eye is root.
Yeah, got the
Huh?
guard.
You're talking to the guard?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around, put my swords away. I'm trying
Yeah.
to contain
You
my
got the
eye.
twitch going.
Yeah. Talking about the flaming thing. He looks cool.
Okay.
Should we not do this?
What's the meaning of this?
He's trying to kill everyone.
And he was the aggressor?
Yeah, and I'm gonna point to this dead duergar over here.
Let's
Let's talk about it. You smashed him.
And he looks very
I
smashed.
feel like he looks like we couldn't have done that kind of damage.
Yeah, make a persuasion check at disadvantage because they are generally hostile towards you guys.
Oh.
Fresh face.
2.
Oh
He said he holds a spear at you and he says, "Liar." Do you want to move?
Do I have an action left?
I guess talking is free. Yeah.
no. Can I
What do
take
you want to do?
He didn't say what
A me.
They don't seem to attack you when you move out of their range because they're not sure what's going on yet.
Yeah, I'm like doing cool moves with my cape.
That's why.
You're like this?
Show us those cool moves again, man.
Don't believe me.
You're just like back away.
Like, that's
Smoon one
Right.
with spider wings. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So the giant is gonna make another save.
Fail it.
He's
fail
gonna try.
It, fail it.
Fail it.
A 2.
Huzzah!
All right. It's stuck. Zeke, you're up.
I'm going to, as I attack the giant, I'm gonna is the talk a bonus action?
Free action.
It's like a free action.
As long as
Yeah.
you're not saying.
Help would be appreciated.
Okay.
And that's a miss from me. And Bessie.
Yeah, you get advantage of that.
Oh,
Yeah, you got
yeah, you're right.
advantage.
14 plus 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Alright, so D10. 4 plus 3, 7. And then good old Bessie. It's going to be a 10. 3. 10 plus 8.
Total damage.
3. Poison damage.
3 points.
Fuck, see.
All right. Still
Can I
alive.
have that seat?
I don't know if she
All right.
very much.
Ava.
I'm gonna hold action to see
Okay.
what they're gonna do.
Sure. Emra.
I would like to attempt to kill myself.
Okay. Go ahead and do that. What'd you get?
6.
6.
Takes another point of damage.
So, you hear those heavy footsteps, and someone enters the fight.
Someone.
Some creature.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
It's another stone giant, this one with only one head, and he says, Wait! Don't kill him! It is I, Stone Speaker Hargrim. The duergar say, Hargrim, what is the meaning of this? They're like talking back and forth. I'm gonna let you guys have one more turn to decide what you want to do about this. Xerius.
Do about what?
I'm not gonna kill the guy. Like,
Don't kill him. Let's
his
give him
dad
a
comes
minute.
in, is like, hey, don't kill him.
Yep.
I will back away though.
I'm gonna
Back
kill
me
him.
away next to the archer person over
And they're talking giant to
there.
each
So what you
other.
want me to do?
Right.
Yeah, instead of myself.
What are we gonna do it? It's not doing it. They're talking, and they're gonna figure out what they're gonna do.
Sure.
You know?
Okay. So you're gonna just hold off.
No, I'm gonna minor illusion a pillar instead.
So you are now inside that pillar,
So
essentially.
you
Right.
just-
You are the pillar.
Goes to swing at the pillar and hit you anyway.
Kojo, an action?
How tall is the ceiling?
Way up there.
Okay.
Yeah, very tall.
You're in a cavern.
I'm not gonna walk on a
You can
pillar.
climb up the wall if you want.
Hey, Bessie can climb up the wall. My saddle holds me in. Got 30 feet of climbing speed.
Oh,
You like that, don't you?
Aw.
The saddle only holds me in, so I can still do things.
Go herded.
Matrixed it.
Yeah. Any action? Or was that a dash?
That was a dash.
Okay. He's gonna try to break free.
Then start attacking.
Makes it this time.
Eddie attacks Hagram.
And the two stone giants start grappling, and the new one says, "You're not acting yourself, brother. Calm down." And the duergar kind of step back. We'll come out of combat for the moment.
Alright.
All right.
Farther away from that chaos.
And the stone giant looks at you guys, and he says, I'm very sorry. He says that the giant's name is Rihu. He is one of the Stone Speaker's apprentices. I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he was communing with the stone in Cairnyorn Cavern, and he went mad. We saw him sprout a second head as he was storming out. I can't imagine what foul magic caused this, but I do appreciate you not slaying him. And Rihu has kind of calmed down at this point, and the other stone giant. And he says to you guys, thank you for not slaying him. Thank you for containing him and not allowing him to cause more damage in the city or kill anyone that was innocent.
Except for one.
Anyone else? You guys are like, I didn't talk about it.
I try to reach out to do spare the dying, and I'm like, oh no, it's too late.
Right. He says, you must return to Cairnyorn Cavern. We will talk more about this. And the less now crazed two-headed giant leaves. And, it's not 3 or 4 minutes before it's business as usual again. It's like this kind of shit happens all the time. So everybody goes back to selling their wares again. The guards...
You just push that dead guy in the lava.
The guards, however, just kind of are watching the situation. They're not so close that they can hear what's going on, but they're kind of just checking things out. They're interested in you guys. So Dorhun, who's the apprentice, who's now still remaining, says, "Thank you again. Can I ask your names?"
Sure.
Bob, Scott.
My name's Josie Wales.
I'll tell him.
Do you know
You
Steve?
do. Okay.
Goldro. This guy, right?
Can I assume you're the leader here?
The leader. Well, I never thought of it that way, but look at the cat.
I come out now.
Death glare from the cat.
You may feel claws.
Somewhat of a leader, you might say.
Hands on shoulder, but you just feel nails.
Too far.
Says, I'm sure the Stone Speaker would like to thank you in person, and I would invite you back to Cairnyorn Cavern. I can show you the way if you want. I'm going to show you guys on your map
Is
here.
it not as gross there?
You say that, and he looks at you, and he seems a little more wise, maybe, than an average stone giant. And he says, I see that you suffer here. You may find respite in Cairnyorn Cavern. To Emma.
Gear her on my back.
Yeah,
I'll ask if he knows anything of the surface.
of the surface.
I'm gonna look at you and be like,
He says,
you go, Betsy.
we have dwelled here for a long time, but I may be able to help you. would you like to come back and join me? And we add Kangorn Tavern.
Does it look like
you
he's
guys,
telling the truth?
yeah. You can insight it if,
That's cool.
if you want.
I would like to insight it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Same.
Oh wait, I have disadvantage.
Yeah.
Are we
Oh,
just
what
seeing,
do you
are we
mean?
seeing
Yeah.
if he's legit or if he's just...
Yeah, if you want to.
I trust him. He's big and blue and
I wouldn't know.
he's blue.
Actually,
Take a leap
would
of
I
faith.
know anything about the stone giants?
Yes. So I can tell you a little bit about what you would know, and I would imagine you tell the story as you guys are going to
Kangorn Cavern.
to the
do we
cavern.
wanna
Yeah. So
go
the
to the-
stone giants of Clan Kangnorn lead quiet lives of art and contemplation in Gracklestugh. Although reclusive and averse to conflict, they've sworn an ancient oath of loyalty to the Deep King, and specifically this line of kings, right? This oath only given to the Steel Shadow clan. The leader is Stone Speaker Hargrim, and he is a priest of their god Scoreus Stonebones, the god of the stone giants.
Hell yeah.
Wait, did we want to go talk to that other dwarf though that we were on the way to talk to first before we follow the giants?
Nah, dude, we should definitely go talk to the giants.
Okay.
Like, no, wait. This is more important. I hear you.
That's
Safer
fine.
already.
Sometimes the giants will rise to defend Gracklestugh. That's what you know about them. So you guys want to follow
Yeah.
at this point?
Yeah.
She's right
Okay.
with me on Bessie.
So you've noticed that you see lots of people getting stopped, especially if they're not duergar, or even if they are duergar and they're not wearing certain badges. They are periodically stopped, sometimes arrested, or sometimes killed on the spot as you are crossing this area.
sus.
So I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. This is called Ludiger's Furrow. It's this giant cleft that spans the whole city length. It's like miles, maybe a mile across, something like that. It's really large. And you know that this is where the Darrow are kind of like cast off and put to live in squalor. And as you cross the bridges, you see a lot of these places. In fact, let me see if there's a little text I can read you. Yeah, long ago an earthquake split the cavern that houses Gracklestugh, leaving a rift called Ludiger's Furrow. So you cross that unhindered, and you get over to Kangorn Cavern. Alright. If you guys want to do anything on the way there, prep any spells.
Just listen to the story.
Yeah, so you're telling the
I'm
story.
gonna try to heal myself again.
See,
Okay.
in the back
Actually, while we're on the way there...
11.
You, yes,
I
that
can
does
cast
it
it.
exactly. Yeah, what do you do?
Oh, never mind, she's fine. I'm
Okay.
gonna save my spells.
What?
Well,
Just
he
walk
still
in.
can't
Okay.
cast.
Yeah,
Hmm?
neither of us can cast still.
I'm gonna come over and I'm
She
gonna...
should be able to cast in a cavern.
If you could find
we
some
have to, like,
way
rest
to
first.
cure poisons,
That's what I was
you
gonna
wonder
go. I was
if.
gonna go cure.
Be nice to do more than just minor illusion.
Well, you can try.
can't do
You just
anything.
make cough every time.
Yeah, you're right.
There's an action.
Okay, so if they are poison, you can neutralize it as well.
Nice.
So I'm gonna come
How
over
many
and
times can you do that a day?
I can use it as many times as I can cast a level 2 spell. So twice.
Twice. Okay.
So I cast that on you, so you now can do your spells.
Hey!
All of a sudden, I tap you, so all of a sudden you breathe again.
Nice.
I'm at 18.
Alright.
So I'm like, maybe we'll eventually forgive you for the Cosmo instead.
The
Right.
sweet smell of charcoal again.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much.
A long tunnel opens in the South Borough District down here, extending several hundred feet and into the home of the stone giants of Clan Cairngorm. The tribe is named after the ancient oath of fealty their ancestors swore to the bearers of the Kangnorn crown, the traditional regalia of Deep King monarchs. They take you in to see the Stone Speaker. Imagine a giant-sized cave, essentially, but well-furnished, modestly appointed. You don't see a lot of jewelry or gems on them. They're kind of reclusive, and when you're ushered in, he's not sitting on a throne, but he's kind of like huddled in a corner, and he seems to be in meditation. He's got one hand like on the stone, and he seems to be kind of humming to himself almost. And you feel like a slight vibration in the stone underneath your feet as you approach him. The person that's ushering you in says, "Give him just a moment." And didn't want to interrupt the stone speaker. So a few minutes pass, unless you want to do anything. The stone speaker's eyes open, and he turns to you, and he says, "Ah, I was expecting you. Welcome. Come, this is a safe place."
Don't mind if I do. Take that
So you park your carrying crawler over the side.
When you back up, it goes beep, beep, beep.
And he says, "Please, take a seat." And there's no seats, it's just stone.
Indian style on the floor.
Okay. You do that, and he says, "We treat the stone here with reverence, for it can tell us many things." And he says, "I believe you were sent here for a purpose. Something evil stirs in the Underdark. The rock itself cries in pain and horror, and a madness creeps from the blackest depths. Pay heed to the signs surrounding you. A cave with two faces, rock devoured, and the land overgrown. The pebble believes itself flesh. The earth rejects its wards, and the tunnels shake in fury. By these portents you shall know of evil's presence and of evil's faces. This is what the stones tell me."
What was that again?
So he says, "A cave with two faces, rock devoured, and the land overgrown. The pebble believes itself flesh, the earth rejects its wards, the tunnel shake in fury." He's portending this great evil coming. And he's telling the story in rock speak, essentially. What he would understand as a disturbance in the natural order of things is, pebbles thinking they aren't rock anymore. And then he kind of laughs and he says, "Yeah, I'm not sure what it means yet either." I still haven't deciphered it, but this is what the stones tell me. And at that point, a couple of other stone giants come in and they bring you some warm food. It's actually some of the more appetizing food we've had, including at Inari's garden.
Is the wine safe? If there is wine?
Yeah, so you guys talk for a while. Do you want to ask him about anything going on in the city or general questions?
I want to know how they talk to the rocks. I want to try. Ranger wants to know how to speak to rocks.
He says to you, you place your hand on the rocks, you close your eyes, and in time they will speak to you.
This is going to be a daily ritual.
It takes some time, but you will find it calms your spirit.
I'll be working on that now.
Alright?
Does he have any other tips for that?
Sure. He says to you, though, it pleases me that someone would be interested in the stone. It's often forgotten. In fact, here in Gracklestugh, it's destroyed and moved and used to make often weapons of destruction, which I'm not pleased with. I may have something that could help you in your quests, and he gives it to you since you seem most interested in the stone. He pulls out this crystal.
How shiny is it, first of all?
It's super shiny.
I love it. Eyes go super well.
It looks like this, right? And it's called the Stone Speaker Crystal. You find, and you would know this too, it resonates strongly with conjuration and divination magic.
It's mine. My shiny rock. Stop thinking of this.
So, this is what he kind of tells you. He says this will allow you to commune with the spirits. You may find that you can begin to talk with animals. You may find that you can speak with those that have passed from this plane. You will find the plants most talkative. Keep it safe, for it is a truly rare gift that I give you, knowing full well that you mean to do good in this world. And not all of you are good, so you shift a little uncomfortably.
I'm not.
at this idea, but he seems to think you're a force of good anyway. The item does require attunement, so you guys can all take a short rest at this point. He then says, I trust you, and the stones trust you as well. He says, I believe Dorhan may have some more information for you. And then he, sinks back into his meditation state. Dorhan ushers you out of the chamber, and he says, I have not yet learned the skills to commune with rock, as the stone speaker has. But I believe you may do some good in the city as well. Have you guys told him that you are trying to get out yet?
I was literally about to ask
I mean, he
him.
kind of did
Yeah.
when
We hinted
Well, I
at
said
that
if you
we
knew
did
anything of the
class,
circus.
Of the surface,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was looking.
He says a writ of passage is currently impossible to obtain. They've closed the city off, and he says he's not sure why, but Horgar Steel Shadow, who is the Deep King, has issued a command that no one leave, especially anyone looking like surfacers. So he says it may be very difficult to get out of the city. He says, I can perhaps set up a meeting for you with the Deep King, but it may take me some days, and you may need to prove your worth in the meantime for him to even grant an audience.
I would recommend doing this.
So he says, the crystal may have answers that I don't have
Great.
currently.
That's the
You're
rest
like,
of the push.
magic again.
What?
Damn it. So he then takes you guys back to...
No, I want to stay here. It's
No,
better.
I like it here better. Can we spend the night?
He doesn't seem like he's offering the place for the night, unfortunately.
But I don't like it there.
Got short rest.
Uh,
Hit that you want.
and he wants
Yeah, but it's still
to escort you because he says that they'll probably stop you and arrest you if he's not with you.
Yeah, you see these badges.
But he'll take you somewhere if you want. Yeah, you see that. What about the
What
badges?
about- yeah,
When I ask about the
yeah.
badges, he said the badges are hard to come by. Only a few in the city have them. Erd Blackskull, who is in charge of the stone guards, can give them. And then he says Thimberchod is granted access to the city. And when you ask him about Thimberchod, he kind of chuckles. And he says, "You'll see."
Like, if you're in danger, you'll see, or you'll see.
He won't go any further. And then the Deep King, of course, can issue such passage and badges.
Have any more stone giants other than that one guy? Have they been acting weird?
That's a great question. He does say that he has noticed after certain rituals that are performed in the cavern that some of the giants have been acting bizarrely, but never have gone into such a rage like this. He is not sure what's going on because he doesn't think that they're doing any different rituals or communing. But he says, I would be happy to learn what's causing this, and if you could investigate further, I would very much appreciate it. So, side quest would be find out why the stone giants are going mad. And you know
Do you
that
think that's
the Underdark's
Duergar?
full of madness, so it may just
Yeah.
be that, but it also may be a separate plot.
Yeah, or the Duergar are acting weird.
Yeah, Darrow.
Yeah,
Darrow's in the caverns.
Where are the rituals?
Caverns making a weapon.
somewhere inside
Someone's
the
been acting
Carrying
weird
On cavern.
around here.
Yep. Okay, do you want him to lead you guys to the Shattered Spire, to the Bazaar, back to the inn, to
Probably
this Hall of Sacred Scrolls?
We were headed to the
Yeah, we were heading.
Keep in mind, this will probably be your only escort where you won't be detained potentially. For now,
Okay.
at least.
The Shattered Spire.
Shattered
Yeah.
Spire.
You guys want to go there?
Inspired.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
That's where we were headed.
Yep.
Alright.
If we
Get
get
the worst
escort,
part of
let's
town.
go.
Great.
Do you know a good way to get rid of this cough?
Live here for years, unfortunately.
I want to.
So you guys are making your way. As you are traveling up this way, you start to see in the kind of near distance, every once in a while, a great almost explosion or boom and a great white light. And it starts to get closer to you, and you realize the forge fires are being lit by something. And as you're looking down alleyways, you catch a glimpse of some great and monstrous beast that you suspect may be lighting the forges.
Question, is it a demon?
You're not
Is
sure.
it a prince of hell?
Dude, where are we at? Heading towards it?
Just kind of like right over here.
Are we heading towards it?
You are.
Get out.
So this is probably the Wormsmith, which is
Thimbershard.
Thimbershod. Yeah, you can talk about it if it's in there.
Haha, Thimbershard.
Yep.
He keeps the forges lit nice and hot so that they can be productive.
Well,
But we like to keep them in check every now and then. He'll be replaced soon enough. I do Thimbershard. He's a dragon. A Jalbert dragon.
You know what?
He's a dragon.
You have a dragon here.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
You want to see him?
I very much do.
Oh, I don't know. We'd like that.
I would like that.
It's too late now.
Is that him?
he's getting closer.
Is this supposed to be doing that?
That's fine.
You want to stand and watch?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Define standing and watch.
Oh,
So
it's fun.
this,
There you go.
a great dragon head turns around a corner, and maybe you're at the opposite end of the alleyway, and it stares at you momentarily. I need you to make a Constitution check to avoid running in terror. And is anybody else standing with him?
I don't want to be anywhere near that.
I'm not gonna.
Oh wait, I have the. Wait, I'm safe.
I'll be
I've
fine.
got the fire
19.
thingy.
Nice.
Hang on.
Standing
If you
strong.
have any food, throw it now.
Ooh, 18.
What'd you call him? Thimbershard. He's a little goat red dragon. He likes food.
He starts to sniff the air. You hear a great bellow. He says, and he's looking directly at you.
Uh-huh.
His head turned around the corner, and he says,
What's your name, young one?
It's a Kojo. And I go like this and drop to a knee.
nice. Okay. And then he's got handlers, right? So these duergar kind of come around,
Yeah.
and they're all wearing like red robes. They have flame insignias. They're the keepers of the flame, you would know.
Yep.
But they're not telling him what to do by any stretch of the imagination. And he looks you up and down, and he says, he turns to one of the keepers, and he says,
That one will do.
and then he doesn't seem more interested, and he turns and he starts to kind of walk off. And then several of the keepers break away. Where's the rest of the party at this point? You two are.
I was
I feel
standing.
like-
I was standing with.
You're with him. You're with him. You're with him. What were you guys doing?
I feel like I saw the dragon. Like, nope.
Yeah, I was like
You were hiding
nearby,
somewhere, right?
but
I'm
like
with that
peeking.
Yeah, same with her.
Sure. So the keepers of the flame come up, and then Duergar, probably to you, they say, "Who is with you, and why would my master take an interest?"
I don't know.
Push the door,
Sure.
my door forward. What are they saying?
I can't understand them.
That's right.
They want to know who you are and why he wants to know who you are.
I'm Kojo. And I'm gonna start walking.
I'm gonna translate
Okay.
if they don't understand him.
Says, "Don't ask me why. I can't understand it myself. But it seems that Thimbershod has an interest in this one, and any friends he might have.
What?
He says, you will meet us at his lair, which is going to be down in the bottom right corner, this very night."
Fire fans!
No one asked if we had plans. Nothing. We just go.
When
The
a
dragon
dragon
tells
tells
you
you you're
to
doing
meet them.
something.
Thank you for the ring.
Does he like cake?
Maybe.
Yeah, Barley ring.
Probably like tiefling.
Cheer for anything.
You want a hairless tabaxi running around here?
Right. And he gives you directions, but he doesn't give you any kind of badges or way to get there. He just says you will
I was
meet
gonna say,
us.
I asked him about that.
Uh-huh.
Just, like, how are we gonna get across?
Yeah, he says, you'll find a way. If Thimbershot is confident in you, then you will make the meeting.
So we're
Oh,
gonna
Jesus.
Wait,
All
good.
right.
Thanks, Gojo.
Good job.
Cool.
You just get a what the fuck look from around the corner. You just see ears and eyes.
So you know you've got probably, I don't know, most of the day has been spent.
No, not a good way. I saw that.
You may still make it to the Shattered Spire, but you're going to be hustling to make it there and then go all the way back.
It just wasn't meant to be.
So I leave it to you guys. You can turn, or you can just go to the Shattered Spire and really hustle.
Zinks! You asked if we would follow them, that'd be just so much easier if we just go with that.
I don't think that's what Thimbershot wants. I
Well,
kind of laugh.
so we still have the giant with us, though, right?
Yes, for
So
now.
He could just take us to the dragon, but then we can't get to the Shattered Spire or possibly back to the end.
No,
It's
well,
fine with me.
no, we can't get back there cleanly, necessarily, meaning without an instance.
If I don't burn
Easy
spells-
solution. Split the party. You two go back and meet the Shattered Spire. You three go see the dragon.
Or we just all go separate ways.
Alright, better plan. Bessie goes to the Shire.
Bessie's
Bessie's not much for words. She tends to paralyze people a lot, too. Yeah, which one?
You guys think you stopped me from going to the dragon tonight? You're wrong.
Can I ask why?
You not all touched as I was by Io. But he's calling me, and that's a dragon, and he'll tell me more about him.
Rory thinks you look
I thought
tasty.
Tamora was calling you.
Yeah, she's gonna help me get there.
Is she now?
Yep, her and group. Shh.
Haven't heard that name yet. Are you still a Grumsh worshiper, or were you ever?
Yeah,
Okay.
by far. Love him.
I worship about 10 gods. One's gotta be right. I like it.
I'll tell you which one.
So that's one vote for going directly to the dragon. Is that what I'm hearing?
One stern vote from the leader.
The
Serious?
leader,
Dragon.
excuse you?
I'm the leader. Right. Can't remember
What were we gonna get from the guy at the Shattered Spire?
Reward.
Payment reward for.
A reward for saving him.
Well, I don't think that he's gonna forget us by tomorrow.
True.
Yeah.
But will
Or-
he be there tomorrow?
Or will he get stabbed to death by
Yeah.
assassins?
When we get
Where's
stabbed,
the
we go
stabbing
slaves.
We split party.
I'm gonna split the party.
I don't want to split the
I
party.
don't wanna split the party.
No.
I've learned the hard way many times not to split the party.
I'm
trying to sneak it.
He looks like he wants us to split the party, but I'm
Yeah.
so concerned.
Yes, do you?
Split the party, split the
Shut
party,
up.
split the
You're
party.
not part of
split
this
the party.
game for
I
us.
am part of this game. Thank you very much.
Arrested.
Me and
Let's be
Bessie
most
saved
honored
your
guest.
When do you level
Let-
up?
Let's try and make both. Then
You want to do that?
I would
let's
like
try
to try
Shattered
this.
Spire and then
Dragon first,
we're
then
almost
dragon
there.
is bedtime. I feel like the spire's gonna stay open late.
Yeah, we could try to hit the spire after.
Okay,
After the dragon.
sounds
Okay,
good.
excuse me, giant friend. Could you wait here?
No, lead us
Actually,
to the
no.
dragon.
Maybe
Let's
the
meet
maybe the
dragon
giant.
and then-
I think maybe the giant can come with
The
us.
giant can lead us to the dragon.
Have you ever met Thimbershot?
He says, I'm not sure if I can be away from my duties for so long as to bring you to the dragon and back to the Shattered Spire.
No,
You can try to persuade him.
Yes.
What?
Let's all
I
try
like
to
it.
persuade
Let's
him.
do a group persuade.
Group persuade.
15, and if more than half of you beat it, you persuade him to do it.
You go first.
16.
Ah,
I
okay.
don't like to hold
17.
it.
-1. 15.
15.
Yes.
15.
I haven't rolled yet. Did they already beat
That's
it?
more, yeah, they did.
So,
Alright, he'll
just
do
for
it.
shits and giggles, 11. So.
Nice. Alright.
There you go, guys. I solved your problem. You happy now?
I gave him really big puppy dog eyes.
I figured I would ask.
Nice.
The biggest of puppy dog eyes.
You're welcome. Ew. That's disgusting. Also, can you roll for damage?
I used to.
My
My second giant.
He's proficient in
My
sucking
second
in stone
giant.
giants.
Third time.
When did you
There's
suck out the
Thimbershot's
stone master when we were
Cavern.
looking?
His jaw's not dislocated.
Down here.
Shield your eyes, stool!
I think. Okay. We'll do
I think these are his eyes.
Do you want to prepare before you enter the cavern?
Yeah, you should probably like wash your feet and stuff, man.
Yes.
Comb your hair. Look presentable. That seems about right for an orc.
It's still like greasy and messy. You just switch the part to the other side.
I can't stop picturing the hound's hair on them.
Ugh.
Before we go in,
Yes.
Make sure this ring of fireproofness is firmly attached to my fingers.
Mm-hmm. Good timing on that.
I'm like, just double check.
I'm gonna make sure Bessie's all saddled up nice and good.
I would
Make
like
sure
to
Marvel
give
is good.
Blessing of the Trickster to the wizard,
Okay.
and
I'm supposed to be aware that nobody's found me
I
yet.
want to try.
Your brightly ass color.
I'm
to
still
give-
standing up.
Well, that's only a minute.
Oh my god.
My stuff.
I'll try it anyway. I want to try and cast guidance on my friend here.
Okay. Sure.
Roll to see if I can cast it. 12?
Yes, that works.
Hey, you get a D4 to an ability check of your choice
This one?
for a minute.
Oh,
So I do that right before we walk in. I gave you Blessing of the Trickster for an hour.
Sweet. What do I get?
And, you get advantage on stealth checks.
Alright.
That works.
The giant leads you to a massive series of tunnels. The entrance to Thimbershaw's lair is guarded by multiple agents of the Keepers of the Flame. So you see like 12 of these duergar standing ready outside his lair. One seems to be in charge, and he approaches you, and he introduces himself. He says, "I am Gardegar Zundorn. I was told that you would be coming to meet with him. Welcome." And he kind of ushers you into the entrance chamber here.
Oh, wow, you're so nice.
He says, "Speak with respect to our master. And make sure you do nothing intimidating, or you will be turned to ash. I'm not sure why he wants you."
Alright, Bessie. Be on your best behavior.
And they lead you to a giant building carved from stone, and you're just outside this cave entrance here. As you approach, the ground trembles slightly. I need everybody to make a constitution check because this scares the crap out of you.
What are we seeing?
Ooh, nat 20!
Nice.
I rolled a 19.
Just like boldly approach.
I like grab my amulet and go, ooh,
19.
got this.
Hold on. I don't know what.
This
You
is
said
con.
Constitution?
Constitution check.
12.
12, okay. So you're not terrified running away, but you are
Constitution check plus
significantly
modifier is straight.
shaken.
Yeah, plus the mod.
Dirty 20.
Okay, so...
Dirty 20.
19 plus 3. Or
I
19 plus
also
2.
have a dirty 20.
I have a 21.
Okay. What was yours?
Dirty 20.
Nice. You guys all in yours?
Mine was a nat 20 plus
Yeah, you
one.
guys killed it.
Me and
You're
Bessie
like,
are just
you got
like-
this. We've seen much worse. We face down Demi
Okay, yeah, I looked at the Demigorgon in the eyes.
in both
And
faces.
then the hallucination started.
All the heads.
This
all
dragon
the
only
eyes.
has one face. I'm fine.
I can do this.
So actually, Sirius initially is freaked the f out, but since everybody else is nonchalant, he's like, okay, come
You know what? You're cool. I think I'm okay.
And as you enter,
Toadstool's okay, I guess. Son of wow.
I'm gonna move you guys in. I expect you're leading.
Yes.
Yeah,
Naturally.
it wanted you.
Yep.
How toasty is this floor?
And I'll put you guys
I'm
wherever
gonna
you
you
want
a
to
sucking dragon dick.
We're about to sign out.
First time for everything. He's like, that one'll do. He looks pretty.
He's.
The rest of you get to watch.
I heard he's good at giants. He better be good at dragons.
Camera. You guys see who came up.
Still see my reputation in football.
And I gotta take a picture of that.
It's not every day you meet a dragon.
Okay,
A thunderous voice echoes against every wall.
Mother? That's the voice?
Duergar.
The voice calls as a reptilian behemoth comes into view. Its scales the color of lava, its bright yellow eyes glowing in the shadows of the cave before coming into the light.
You didn't say I was having services for dinner today.
And he kind of chuckles. His massive body gives the distinct impression that he is overweight,
How overweight?
indicating that
He's
his
pretty
eating
overweight.
habits may not bode well for you.
I'd like to attack.
Foreigners,
I'd like to show I'm covered in fur, therefore probably not tasty.
foreigners, the Duergar priest says with great reverence, meet the father of flame, the ever-burning, and the foundry's heart, Thimbershod, the wormsmith of Gracklestugh. What do you guys do initially when he's just staring at you?
Stand there like a boss.
I like to curtsy.
Do that.
Yep.
You bow.
Be a Bessie bow.
Uh-huh.
There's two beings. I just focus on the dragon.
Okay. So, yeah. So the other one was the priest who was introducing you. Yeah. And something tugs at your mind and heart that this is the sort of power that you felt when you were in the presence of the glowing sphere of Io, but to a lesser degree. Although very, very inspiring for you. And Thimbershod says, he says to you,
I have been looking for a particular group of adventurers. You look to be adventurers, are you not?
We are indeed. Now I always sent me to you, just for this reason.
Fair. I haven't heard that name spoken in hundreds of years.
Or tomorrow.
And so you may know this, you may not. Many of the chromatic dragons worship Tiamat, who would be a lesser god compared to Io. But some dragons don't believe in Io. He says,
Alright, I will worship her. Will you prove your worth to me?
and he says,
I would use you as my agents in the city. You will report to me.
what do you say?
Yes.
He looks at the priest and several of the other keepers of the flame, and he says,
Leave! Get out!
and they like look at each other, and they're like, but my lord, and then he says,
Out!
and they kind of run out.
As they
They
were not
scamper out.
like, yeah, go on,
We're
get it.
straight to first do something really bad.
Nice.
Oh, I said that. I did that. When I said running out, I'm like, yeah, you go on, get it.
He says,
I have reason to believe that the keepers no longer have my best interests. But you will find out what they are up to.
Would I, out of character, would I know what this says in here about what they're gonna do in?
let me see what, I don't forget what I said. Hold on.
I know what happens when he gets too powerful.
What, are they going to put you on a diet? I don't know.
Weight Watchers?
Yeah,
Like
so,
Weight Watchers.
Do I do that?
let's have you make a history check
Okay.
to see if you, or a investigation, like you would have gathered this information. Otherwise,
What's an investigate? Is that?
Intelligence.
Oh, that's +0.
yep, history check.
Oh, nope. That was shit.
That's inspiration still, right?
Oh, do I have an inspiration? No, I don't have it.
You already wrote it?
I don't think I
Yeah,
have
he
one.
slept with us. He said we all got inspiration.
Yeah.
and we
Alright,
slept.
I'm gonna do some inspiration. Come on, baby. Ah.
14.
All right. What do you say to the dragon?
Well, Mr.
You have something to say, do you?
Yeah, so you're a wormsmith? And,
These hundreds of years go on.
yes, and, well, apparently, before you get, too, powerful, you see, they're gonna kill you.
What?
Yeah,
Moving out of the way.
it's kind of what they do.
Are you speaking lies, little one?
No, I'd like being here and not being Ash.
So take another inspiration. That was awesome. And make a persuasion check to see if he believes you.
Oh, that is a 8 plus.
What is it?
Another inspiration.
Yep, you can burn it right away.
Come on, baby.
Where's the 6? Find me proof,
Dang it.
or I will eat you for this transgression.
I don't think I have much sustenance, do you? Do you know of any hatchlings?
I can do a spell that could make him tell the truth.
Do it.
I can't right now, but I can get it
Why
tomorrow.
would I believe you? And he turns his gaze to you.
Oh no.
I'm gonna stand in front of them.
Service elf. Why are you here? This is not a place for you.
Not a place for any of us.
What?
You say that.
No, I'm thinking it.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm a cleric of Tamora, and I'm just really lucky.
Surface. Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna stand in front of her and him.
Sure. What do you say?
Timor is not your concern. Anything you need us to do will be done.
There's something about you. What is your name?
Didn't he already introduce himself?
I don't think he said his name.
No.
He's a dragon.
He might have.
To the duergar. To the duergar.
It may be a slight that he's not remembering your name. You're not sure. Yeah.
If you could
Gojo.
Kojo. There's something about you that I haven't seen or figured out yet.
I was sent from Io to serve you.
Very well. You will serve me while you're here in the city. Go now. The Keepers of the Flame will have your first mission, but keep in mind, you will report to me first.
I'm gonna crouch down a little bit
Uh
for the princess to jump on my back.
huh. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna remind him and be like, just remember, don't be too powerful, or we'll kill you before we do anything.
No one's gonna kill you. Don't.
If a dragon could roll its eyes any bigger, it doesn't seem like he's. He may be buying it, but
you know
he's
there
not
were
sure.
plenty before you. Just saying.
Yes, you're ushered out. Gardagar is going to give you some items here. So you are now agents of the Wormsmith.
Hell yeah.
He gives you a holy symbol of Ladogar,
Can you carry that?
which is the Duergar's god.
Ludiger's fall the same as the.
We'll give you that. too.
Right. And then also gold pins featuring Thimbershaw's profile, one for each of you.
Oh, so that's
And he says, the symbol and the badges will grant you access to travel beyond the Dark Lake District. Although you should be careful, because some of our brethren will not respect even these badges. He says, I don't know what Thimbershaw told you, but his mind is corrupt, as being corrupted by some form of madness that has come to this place. I would have you find out what it is. He also gives you another task.
So many tests.
So busy.
He starts to tell you that he feels like this madness that has come is akin to a hole being torn through the world, affecting the Underdark, and they feel the vibrations of this evil in the city. He says, you will find someone for us. Someone working for... And he, spits on the ground. He says, I have a feeling that the Grey Ghosts were involved in stealing something from us. And we want it back. You should look for a Grey Ghost agent. A Darrow named Droki. He carries messages and supplies for the Thieves Guild. You may find him in the West Cleft, you may find him in the Bazaar, or you may find him in his tunnels below. And he mentions the word Whirlstone Tunnels, but he doesn't know anything about it, and he doesn't know how to get into it. But he wants you to find Droki, who is a member of the Grey Ghost Assassins Guild. And you may find him in West Clef, which is where the Darrow are, the Blade Bazaar, or in this mysterious place called the Whirlstone Tunnels. So you guys make your way back, I assume,
With the giant.
To the Shattered Spire.
Would your character know that the people...
Stole metagame.
Well, then let me ask you. The people, the fire people controlling him would be the ones that killed him?
Probably.
I mean, it makes sense. That's their fucking job.
So, he's a wormsmith. He doesn't know, obviously, that they kill him. He is pampered by receiving treasures, free meals, and constant pampering, which is why he's fat.
So we can't fight back as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Roughly thing?
So he is doomed to be slain before he grows too strong, replaced by a new red hatchling.
Okay, the Shattered Spire. So a broken stalagmite juts out from the Dark Lake, about 40 feet from the shore, forming the foundation of a tavern built with fungi stalks in a manner similar to a log cabin. A bridge woven of rothe wool allows patrons to cross the water to visit. So you enter the tavern, and you're met with harsh looks, snickers, several duergar spit on the floor as you pass. You only see duergar here, but you do see Wirtz. We'll make him sitting over here, and just put the rest of the duergar around the area there. He looks up and he says, "Come sit. Come sit."
I guess I'll leave Bessie outside.
He's passed out.
He drank too much.
He says, "What took you so long?"
There's a dragon
I just kind of motion to the pen. I'm just like,
Wait, is that Thimbershod? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
The agents of the Wormsmith, that's right.
well, let's just say you can't kill us now.
So he says, "This is for you guys," and he slides a gem to each of you, and it's a obsidian, and it's worth 100 gold each.
That's pretty good for Davis keeping him from getting stabby dab.
This is all that your life is worth?
Make a persuasion check.
Well, that's gonna be what, 500 gold?
As long as it's shiny, I don't care.
13.
You pocket it.
You get a stab in the
13?
13. He says, "You look like the capable sort. Perhaps I could interest you in another mission."
There's so many chores right now.
Chores?
We're listening.
This one's not within the city, and it has to remain hush-hush.
Is this,
If we can get out.
If.
Have you guys told him that you guys are trying to escape yet, or anything, really?
Wouldn't he have known? Because we were going to pay him for travel. But that was for to get in the city.
Yeah.
Just to get in. We paid to
Surface.
get in.
He says, once you're in, sometimes it's difficult to get out, and I've heard that it's almost impossible right now.
Something about the king blocking down the city.
He says, if you somehow manage to get out of the city, I would have you make a delivery to Bligdenstone, which is the Deep Gnome City, and I can tell you how to get there. You wish to remain in the Underdark, or you are seeking the surface?
Yeah.
What's the delivery?
I don't know. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
So he kind of looks
I'm just
around.
running from the guards that are in the city, apparently.
The service doesn't sound so bad till you see the sun.
He looks around to make sure nobody's looking, and then he pulls out another pouch, and he opens it, and you see a sack full of raw gemstones I need you to make an Arcana check, and I need everyone else to make insight checks. You're so focused on the stones themselves that you can't make the insight check.
26.
11.
19 plus 7.
Right. So you think that whatever mission he's potentially hiring you guys for is probably maybe not in the city's best interest, or at least it's pro one faction and could potentially get you in trouble. So it may be worth it to you.
Are we all in trouble?
What'd you get on your arcane?
9.
A 9. Okay. So all you know is that these aren't just regular gems. You think that maybe it has something to do with crafting spells or storing spells or something like that. And you don't suspect that any of them are currently active. These look like raw, uncut stones. But I can't tell you anymore with that roll. He said, if you're trying to find your way to the surface, the deal is simple. Agree to deliver this to Bligdenstone, and I will tell you how to get there.
To the surface
Deal.
or to Bligdenstone?
From Bligdenstone, you may be able to find your way to the surface.
Deal. Deal?
Yep.
Deal?
Just looking at the gems.
He says you have a map, yes, and Xerius, you've been making a map this whole time as
Yes.
cartographer. So you pull out your map, and it looks like this. And essentially, this is where you guys started. And you made your way to Sloopadoop, and then you did some Dark Lake stuff, and you made it to Gracklestugh. This is where Bligdenstone is. It's a little ways away, so now you at least have a direction, and you can kind of figure out how to get there. You guys have opened up the possibility of getting to Bligdenstone. And he tells you it's a city of deep gnomes who are much more friendly to outsiders. And he says certainly they have trade routes that go to the surface, and you should be able to find your way. Do you want to ask him anything else?
What can you tell me about the Grey Ghosts?
They're an assassin's guild. I'm not sure where they're based, but I have my suspicions that it's... He looks around again. He says, I think it's under the city.
With the Darrow.
Yes. I think it's in a place called Whirl Speak or Whirlstone, something like that.
Oh, you don't know
What
where?
about the...
Westcliff?
Rollstone tunnels.
Wellstone?
He says it's kind of whispered in rumors that entrances are all over the city, but unfortunately I can't tell you where.
Why not?
Maybe he doesn't want to. Make an insight check. You think he doesn't know.
You might know? You know?
You know?
What about the...
You know?
What about the...
I don't know. He says I try not to deal with them. It's at that moment that you see
stab him in the
a large company of guards and stone guards enter the tavern. And they seem to be looking for someone. And when they see your party, they say, "There they are."
Here we go again.
So it's like at least a dozen. It's stone guards. It's some of the Zalorn, which were the spear-wielding
Flame
folks.
spear, yeah.
And you also see kind of shimmering in and out of your vision what look like duergar wizards. They look like they have robes on. Some are carrying orbs or other magical implements. And they say, "Come here. You 5, you're under arrest."
For what?
What do you do?
For what?
What did we do?
You say that?
That's what I say.
Do you not see that we are agents of the Wormsmith?
Perhaps that's why you're under arrest. Come without a fight, and you won't die here today.
Today?
What about tomorrow? That's tomorrow.
I don't know. What's your schedule? Let's see!
What do you do? You guys have limited time before they start clamping shackles on you.
How many people do we have?
Where are we going?
You said a dozen of them?
Uh-huh.
Just
Yeah,
a
I
dozen?
don't think we should probably fight them.
No.
How squishy do the casters look?
They're
That's
duergar
the-
casters.
they're half invisible.
Yeah, they're. You don't want to fuck with that.
How about windows? Are there windows nearby?
Works, when you look back, he's like nowhere to be found. He is
Of
gone.
course, he's gone. You know, one of them secret doors.
During that
goes into the
quick
city.
conversation, he like ducked under the table and dipped out.
Do I feel it anywhere?
You don't.
He went through the trap door that leads to the
Question.
skull, whatever.
Are there windows in this tavern?
Yeah.
Unfortunately not.
Oh, I
No.
wanted
It's
to
built
open
like a
them.
log cabin with no windows.
I wanted to open them for dramatic effect as well.
Right. So they clamp shackles onto your arms.
No shackles!
And once again you feel like the prisoners that you started as in the
What about Bessie?
beginning. They say, your creature stays here.
Okay.
Just lives in the bar now?
Right.
Well, no, I
A new
left
mascot?
Bessie outside.
Right. And they're gonna usher you towards the hold of the Deep King.
I'm gonna whisper to Bessie as we leave and be like, "Stay close, girl."
So what's interesting is you know now where the hold of the Deep King is. So you would think that they would be taking you to Overlake Hold. And as you guys are kind of marching this way, instead of taking a left, you guys take a right.
Oh boy.
And you again cross this. And by this time, you're exhausted.
You're going to the
Maybe
Deep
the
King.
night has already passed. So there's no light down here, but you're just guessing what time of day. And you get to the hold, and you see this, some sort of major event is happening. You see a palanquin, which is
The thing people
like-
are carrying it?
yeah, the carried on, right? And you see this kind of raven-haired woman on the palanquin, but you're very far away. And she's being ushered into the hold of the Deep King. And the guards, as you approach, say, "Halt, we're going to have to wait here for a moment. I've been told that something important is happening."
Wisdom perception checks everyone has advantage.
Eliza rode in an iron palanquin through the streets of Gracklestugh, carried by 4 ogres and escorted by a dozen Tanarok warriors. The Tanaroks wore armor of burnished iron and carried wickedly hooked greatswords. One fellow carried a yellow banner emblazoned with Kinnear Vox's assumed symbol, a scepter clasped in a gauntleted hand. Twice their number of grey dwarf warriors escorted the embassy along. Suspicious glares fixed rigidly on the black palanquin and its occupant. The yellow fiend preened just a little beneath the attention. She would have moved much quicker on her own, of course, but making a grand entrance into the city of the grey dwarves might encourage the duergar to take her seriously. Besides, it was fun. The journey from the halls of old Amarinda had not been particularly swift or easy. Eliza and her warriors had pressed hard at their best possible speed for 5 days along ancient dwarven highways to reach the shores of the Dark Lake, and it had taken 3 days more to obtain a duergar boat to cross it. She was growing tired of dashing this way and that through the Underdark at Kinnear Vox's command. On the other hand, it continued to demonstrate her usefulness to the demon-spawned warlord, and perhaps it wasn't a bad thing that circumstances gave her reasons to leave his side from time to time. It whetted his appetite for her return, and sometimes gave her the opportunity to indulge her taste for variety. Gracklestugh seemed to be one great smithy, a city of roaring forges and reeking smoke. It struck Eliza as not unlike the foundry hall in the ruins of Amarinda, except Kinnear Vox's forge was only a fraction of the size of the grey dwarf realm. What an ugly place, Eliza thought. Still, the sheer scale of the work that went on around her was staggering. More than once, she spotted components of siege engines of enormous size being assembled in their workshops. Jednasod might have been far more graceful and insidious, but Gracklestugh was strong. Dwarven skill and single-mindedness seemed almost a match for drow magic and cruelty. The grey dwarves turned her escort toward a great fortress, delved into a mighty stalagmite. Ramparts of stone and turrets of iron guarded the sloping sides of the duergar castle. As the ogres carried her into the open gate of the king's palace, Eliza could not check her impulse to glance up at the mighty portcullis and deadly devices poised to crush any attack. She had several ways to escape if she needed to, but none of her warriors would get out of the palace alive if the Grey Dwarves decided not to let them leave. The procession came to a halt in a large, cheerless hall whose floor was made of polished stone slabs. "It seems that I am here," Eliza said to herself. She tapped on the palanquin's side, and the ogres lowered the carriage carefully to the floor. The Alu fiend waited for the seat to settle, then let herself out, straightening and stretching her wings. A duergar officer, wearing a plain black surcoat over his armor, approached her.
You said you wished to see the Crown Prince,
he stated. "At his earliest convenience," Eliza replied. She'd had the same conversation several times that day with various Grey Dwarf lieutenants and captains.
Who are you again?
"I am Eliza, an envoy from Kinnear Vok, the Sceptred One, Lord of Amarinda and Master of Hellgate Keep. I believe your Crown Prince will find my lord's message worth listening to." The officer scowled doubtfully.
They stay here,
he said, nodding at Eliza's entourage.
Follow me.
Eliza glanced at the leader of her escort, a battered old Tanaruk champion with a missing tusk, and said, "You and your warriors wait here. I might be a while." She followed the duergar captain deeper into the fortress, flanked by another half-dozen Grey Dwarf soldiers. She decided to think of them as an honor guard. They climbed a wide, sweeping stairway that might have been impressive if the Grey Dwarves had taken a single step toward decorating the place, and finally came to a throne room with huge stone columns supporting a vaulted ceiling high overhead. At the far end of the chamber stood a knot of Grey Dwarves. By the way they moved, and the cold regard in their eyes, Eliza guessed that they were the high advisors and nobles of the realm, but their garb displayed no such ostentation. In their midst stood the only Grey Dwarf she'd seen yet with any kind of ornamentation, a burly fellow who wore a hauberk of gleaming chainmail beneath an embroidered surcoat of black and gold. A circlet of gold rested atop his bare head, and rings of gold gathered the braids of his beard. The captain escorting Eliza motioned for her to halt, and went closer to whisper in the ear of the Crown Prince. The Grey Dwarf ruler glared at Eliza, then stepped forward, thick arms folded across his chest.
Welcome to Gracklestugh,
he said, though his hard eyes offered no welcome at all.
I am Horgar Steel Shadow. What does Kinnear Vok want of me?
So about an hour passes, and you're just kind of being held outside of the hold of the Deep King. After some time, you see that and this is a Alu fiend, which is a mating of a succubus and a male. It's like a half succubus. She eventually comes out the front gate, and she gets back on her palanquin, and they begin to leave. Sirius, as you see the Alu fiend and her entourage leave the palace, you gaze upon Eliza, and she stares at you, even though you're one in the middle of a crowd. And she smiles wickedly.
He starts rubbing his nipples.
Though the gaze might have been intimidating, you shake it off.
What kind of intimidating?
It's only much later that it occurs to you the feeling that follows you after seeing her. The dreams come back to you. Her face, Eliza's face, it's the same as the woman in your dreams.
The woman of my dreams!
And that's where we'll end.
Right.
You've been having these dreams, and somebody's like telling you to do things and promising you power, and you suspect this is the person that has been inhabiting your dreams. So yeah, Gracklestugh. That was fun.
Right on. That's intro.
Yeah, man.
We got some good
cool.
items. We got some good quests. We got some badges.
We got a
Got
bunch
arrested
of
again.
quests.
We're in jail.
I feel like, how many just living in
We don't
jail?
know yet. We just got arrested. We're detained.
It's true.
I mean, we haven't gotten thrown in prison yet.
Have a
We're
cough.
still en route.
Yeah, exactly.
We haven't quite reached our destination
We
yet.
don't know why we were arrested.
Yeah, we're kind of like just in the police car.
We're not like actually arrested.
We can still get in an accident and get released.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
detained.
So the stone speakers, the stone giants, had said they were going to try to set up an audience for you, but hopefully you will have done something worthy, which may or may not have happened yet. You hope that they may speak for you or somehow intervene when you meet with the Deep King. Are you concerned that you're going to be eaten by a red dragon?
Maybe?
That's a possibility.
Not yet.
Well, I told him the truth.
How does he feel like having a house pet?
It's true. You did share the
I
truth.
did.
Are you digging the guy that you're
Yeah.
playing for now? Okay.
It does say lawful evil, and that's kind of not what I'm being, but also...
Yeah.
If I'm running from the guards anyway, why do you know?
That's true. So you wonder if you'll be recognized. You're now in custody. That's
Yeah,
true.
that's another thing. I was like,
Probably should have gotten new clothes while we were...
So is a lawful evil duergar like actually good?
that's normal for them. Right, yes, he's lawful. Wow.
He hasn't broken any rules yet, right?
Or has he broken like all the duergar?
Oh
laws
wait,
in front
you're
of
a
us?
convict, so...
Did he really leave the city?
Yeah, it was like,
or was he thrown out? Or was he chased out? Or did he, like,
Or
do
did he
something
escape
horrible
and
here?
that's why
We
they're
don't know
after
his
him?
history.
All I know is I like Betsy.
Yes.
Betsy has charm.
We
So-
trust her.
What?
I said we trust her.
I know. I'm
What have
looking
I
for...
done that you don't trust me?
I mean, I'm also looking
Nothing
for a
yet.
wanted.
opinion.
You are
That's true.
wanted though.
I was wanted that you know of. You don't know what I did or
Alright,
what I
well, we're
didn't
arrested, asshole.
do. You
I
don't
mean,
know
we
why
can-
I was fucking arrested.
In all fairness, we were
That's
all
my
arrested
guess.
too.
That's true.
You were all
Affiliation.
arrested.
What do you think about the front entrance, like the entrance gates? Did you think you were gonna have to like go all the way around and go to the docks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's written for them to be like attack on sight hostile almost when you get there, and then the like secret guy comes out and tries to make a deal with you, but you're supposed to feel intimidated when you get to the place initially, which is in keeping with the tone of the rest of the module.
I feel like our group does not handle being intimidated well. We just do ridiculous things to combat it.
We're either terrified or we're like
Laughing.
fuck off.
Yeah, well, there is that thing about being surrounded by invisible dwarves.
Yes,
You know?
it's true.
The joke is that there actually are never invisible dwarves. You've always been told. No, I'm just kidding.
If you squint, you can see them. No.
That's why I grabbed the wizard.
But you
before.
need that wine
Right.
from the
You
cat.
need like
with
Maya
the
to
soda.
draw a princess. So let's just go away from here.
You guys wrecked those soul blades, those two assassins.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was
We didn't
like,
even get to do anything.
Was it the first 2 turns?
It was.
Jesus.
that was dead.
2
That
shots
was it.
dead.
I almost
I
cheated
was
on
like,
the hit points
oh.
just to make it more interesting, but I was like, nah, you're 5th level now. Let them whip some ass first, you know? It should
It
be
made us feel
gratifying.
good. And
Right.
now we're like, oh.
Let's pay back for the mummy. The whole mummy thing.
And then we was terrified.
Yeah,
The second attack would have been very helpful for
that
the
he
moment.
makes me want to make a dwarf, or a what does he call it, carrion rider?
Yeah,
Yeah, with the whole map.
yeah. That was from a side adventure that I downloaded. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
Cool little mount there. And he paralyzes people, that's sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yes.
That was
Come on.
helpful.
come on,
Quite
paralyzed,
right.
come on, ha ha, got you.
I want one.
Did you think you were going to kill the insane
We would have,
giant?
I think, if
Yeah.
the guards hadn't shown up.
Well, the adventure's not clear. It's like, if they spare the life, then the Stone Speaker's apprentice will come up and thank them and ask them back. I'm like, how would they know to not kill him? Like,
Yeah.
it's not.
He
there's
just
a lot of
appeared
little
out of
things like that.
nowhere
Right.
and starts killing
I mean,
most
if
people.
he was like,
I did
definitely
get dropped some
scared.
hints throughout
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
so
like,
that
thing,
helped.
but-
maybe not
But I'm like,
kill
but
him.
how do we reason with it if he's
Right.
attacking
he's
us and
raged.
going
Well, also in
crazy?
the Underdark, and you can't really, you're like, maybe you could. Nah, just get rid of it.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm a healer. I can always heal him once after we kill him.
Have we offloaded Seraph?
What's that?
Have we offloaded Seraph in the city?
Seraph might show up again.
God damn it.
And then there's a really cool dungeon in the city that's probably going to be most of the second half.
Probably where we're going
under
now?
the city, you know.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't read it all yet, but whatever it is, freaking sweet. And it's not me like looking here, looking there, and like, oh my god, the tables. Did I show you? This is the map of
Ew.
encounters that can
Ew.
happen. Take a good look at that. Pass that around real quick.
I only see it from afar and I already know it's.
And it's got
Yeah.
page numbers on it. I don't have the actual book, so that's
So-
not at all helpful.
As you look at this, memorize.
Exactly. Anyway,
That's awesome.
Photographic memory right now.
anyway, it all worked out. And you got your
I
mutating
want to see it.
armor off.
Yeah.
That's good.
That was lies.
Maybe you want to see it.
Yep.
If you wouldn't have
It's crazy.
said he was scared and seemed confused,
I wasn't sure if you had removed curse, but that's
I didn't.
huge.
It's one I can
Yep.
pick, and since I'm a cleric, I can change them
Yep.
out every day.
Right. Right.
Just gotta pray.
Ah, the joy of being cleric.
Yeah. There's some cool stuff. I haven't looked through your spell list yet, but did you get a whole new level of spells? Like,
Yeah, I
Third
got
level?
3s.
yeah.
oh,
Okay.
You got spirit guardians,
Yeah.
right? Did you pick up spirit guardians?
I did not.
You did not.
I can only actually get 2 more spells, I think.
Hmm.
But I mean total, that I know.
Right.
Do you know what this spell does?
I think I read it.
It kicks ass.
Anything that gets near you,
It's
it
a
attacks.
Yeah.
it's a 15-foot
It's
radius.
like a barrier.
Oh.
15-foot radius around you, and
I might have to get that one next time we sleep.
it's difficult terrain.
Ooh.
So how does that work? Do you have the whole roster of spells that you can choose from, but
Yeah.
you only get to
Yep.
pick 2?
you have that mark.
Well,
Yes,
I
two
get
third
I
levels.
get so many. There's some I know all the time. There's maybe 4
Okay.
or something. No, it's spells.
Oh.
Okay.
Disguise self is a spell I always have prepared.
Looky.
So
See the mark thing?
there's
There's the
spells
circle.
from the
Yep.
god that you always have
It was
prepared,
on the
and
giant.
then there's
It was.
the cleric spells you can
It's
pick.
on the
Okay.
giant still, I
Basically.
think.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
move
So you
it's
have
on
to
the-
swap
they're on
them
the
out
side.
every day, but you're
What's
supposed
up?
to pray
Oh,
10
yeah, yeah.
minutes for every spell or something like that.
At
For
long
every
rest.
spell you swap.
Gotcha.
Can I
Okay.
make these here so I don't forget them?
Yeah, just set them on the table.
Okay.
I'll put them all in the same thing.
Is an image? You can cast an image.
No, it's just me invisible.
Oh.
Invisible. Stealthen.
There's
I mean, I'm
invisible
sure
orb,
I'm sure
too.
eventually I can get that spell. Stealthy boy.
Hmm?
No,
Invisibility.
when I have that
Invisibility?
powder
Yeah.
stuff, I could tech. Why didn't I? Never mind.
You just forgot.
Xerius knows invisibility.
I mean, but then I'd be separated from the party, and
True.
I'm like, maybe I should wait till after they get checked the thing.
2 of you guys could dip out invisible while you're in shackles.
I can too.
Yeah.
Slide
Yeah,
a tail.
that's
You know,
true.
And
I-
then if I get on Bessie, we can both be invisible.
Press the digitated lockpick. Click, 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 click.
Slide a tail.
If only you could use it.
I can.
The carrion crawler has advantage on wisdom checks that rely on smell. So technically, you can
Yeah.
smell the invisible person.
Yeah, if they're there, there's
Right.
you can still smell them.
And I get spider
Right.
climb. The saddle holds me into him, even
Oh,
if
that's
I'm
cool.
upside down. So
Nice.
Good.
basically, I'm velcroed to the saddle, so I can still ride and attack, without having to be hindered.
That's really cool. He's got javelins or
Yeah,
something
he's
too.
got javelin. He's basically, it says the Duergar crawler commandos are the long-range scouts, shock troopers, and special forces of the Duergar. So I'm pretty much a badass. Y'all just don't know.
Depends on how the dice feel.
Yeah, that's the biggest. You can make the most badass character ever. That you roll a natty 1 and you just
Yep.
like
Eat
Darth
it.
Vader tripped on his
Just
cape.
kill
You're
yourself.
like,
Yeah.
during the Imperial March, like or like Biden tripping up the Air Force One. There you go. Real life
Real
thing.
life rolling one.
Real life natty 1 there.
I think
Right.
they're
And then he
great,
rolled
but
again
they're
to
also
save, and it's
suck.
another natty 1.
As long as it's not a death saving throw.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually some things you can recover.
It wasn't until today I figured out who we were going to play. We talked about some
Yeah,
Yeah.
the other thing.
funny options, but I'm like,
Yeah.
how am I going to get a bunny corn into Gracklestugh? It would
Yeah.
get squashed
I
immediately.
smuggled.
I could use a really cool new hit.
Right.
I was like, it's fine.
I was trying to think of like a way to play kind of like the crazy bunny from Alice in Wonderland. Where he's like kind of nuts, but then he's like, "Oh my god, I'm murdered!" I'm sorry, guys.
Or the one from
Every now and then I just kind of get like
A nervous twitch.
yeah. Every now and then I
That
just
angry
lose
bunny?
grabs his ears, and like every now and then I just like I lose my cool sometimes. But it's cool, man. It's cool, man. I'm back. You know.
Takes off.
Goes and murders somebody randomly you don't know about.
Right.
Did you hear someone screaming an extra year because I got stabbed?
Bunny comes out.
Monty Python bunny.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking, how am I going to level him up? Because you should be level 5 Bunnycorn. So,
Yeah.
he's then, like, Monty Python.
Mhm.
He has the
Magic.
a pounce attack.
Yeah, right.
Fangs.
Pointy.
Got sharp, pointy. He can jump huge distances.
Awesome, man. Well, this is a lot of fun.